What? Hello, everybody. That
No, I
was
don't think
fantastic.
I don't think we are still.
Now we are live.
Now we are. Yeah.
Now we are live. Hey, everybody. That was funny. I was just wondering why nobody reacted to what I'm saying, but then I realized it doesn't automatically start. And now I see that we are live, and now I even see a view count of people. And now it should even appear on the YouTube app, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. So, do you see? Yep. Perfect. Hi, everybody. Basically, Konstantine and me were doing a full, 12 minutes of introduction and talking and everything. But there's this button called Go Live. It doesn't start automatically. Well,
Well,
cheers to that. So now we'll have to do all the introductions again. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody. Hi, Omri. Hi, everybody who's there. Cheers. Um, most of you know me. I'm Heinbach. It's good to have you back. And oh, don't spill whiskey on the mixing board. That's a bad idea. And
that's a good start.
yeah, and this is my friend Konstantine. We've known each other for I don't know how many years, like 7 or 8 now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
8 years, I think.
And he's one of the most knowledgeable people in regards to synthesis and music that I know. He's forgotten more about modular synthesizers than I ever learned, and
Oh God.
it's always amazing to chat with him. And yeah, he's also the god of CV to MIDI, just as an
Yeah.
introduction. And yeah,
I have to live up to the hype now.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, so now we gotta start the whole like, what whiskey are we drinking introduction again? Which I was just thinking, oh, this drags on a bit long and nobody is reacting. This feels weird. But yeah, Konstantin, what whiskey did you choose for today?
Okay, so today I'm gonna break the tradition already. Paul, I see your comment. I think you're gonna be disappointed. I'm going with the Writer's Tears, which is not a single malt. It's a lovely Irish whiskey, which is not even mine. I confiscated this from my wife. It's her whiskey. We
Mhm,
got this from Dublin when we went there. We went to Ireland,
mhm,
uh, I think last year,
mhm.
and it's a lovely whiskey, very smooth, very nice, very good way to start this.
Yeah. And my whiskey is also related to my wife because I'm drinking Knock and Do. Yep, our camera here. And this is the whiskey that I actually drank during my wedding 12 years ago.
Okay.
And I still remember it fondly from that time. And yeah, so basically, it feels weird doing this all again. But Constantine, basically, because we both love whiskey. So yeah, LP, these headphones are like the biggest that there are, but I really like them. And my AKGs are pretty broken now. And yeah. Hey Ben, nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Thanks for checking. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for the updated list of streams. If you want, please drop it in the chat. Ben Divkit made a great list of all the streams that are going on, and you can see always what's happening. Uh,
Yeah.
Whiskey and
Lots of.
Stints. There's a channel. Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Oh God.
Wee! Oh, are we ripping you off? I'm very sorry. There was
Sorry, guys.
no intention. Wee. Uh, okay, but maybe we'll collab on this then. That would be probably nice because if you've been doing this longer, you probably have more knowledge of whiskey. Because basically, because I personally have never been to Scotland, so most of my theoretical knowledge of whiskey comes from this book, the Michael Jackson's Malt Whiskey Companion, that Constantine gifted me for my birthday a while back. And yeah, so I'm not gonna go into all the detail on the knock and do right now. I don't want to read all about that again. But one of the nice things about whiskey is I don't know how you feel about it, Constantine, is that it's such an acquired taste. It tastes horrible at first. And you make it sweeten by pouring Coca-Cola into it and lots of ice, and then you drop a little water, which makes no sense when it's not like cask strength. Um, but yeah, it's an acquired taste, and then once you dive into it, there's a whole world that is unlocked of tastes and richness. So, and it always feels weird to hear people like wax poetically over whiskey, but once you're into it, it's not Stockholm syndrome. It's just a world of taste.
It's a I think there's a connection. I think there's a good connection about how people talk about the taste of whiskey and how they talk about synthesizer sounds, like
Mhm.
woody taste or warm or
Uh-huh.
silky,
Uh-huh.
smooth, buttery. You'll get the same epithets, I think.
I was actually thinking about calling this first episode not Cheers, but I was thinking about calling it Whiskey and Filters, because I think filters are very much related to whiskey. It's like, for me, it's a synesthetic thing. I think of different filters according to different whiskeys, and I noticed that especially when I was at Willem II Studios, and just checking it in the comments. Please do a show with vodka. I'm not a vodka person, but
Not yet.
well, we might do a special one if people like this and you're interested in watching this. We'll probably we might do a special vodka edition. Well, can't imagine. It's gonna be fun. But no, what I was where was I before I got vodka derailed? Where was I heading?
Is my sound? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
I'm back, but I'm getting a few comments about my sound. Is it good now?
you're very 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 loud, I think. Yes.
Should
If
be.
you
I don't know.
EMU level constant. Are we good? Okay, let's do a mic check. 1, 2,
1, 2.
1, 2. Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
No, we are not drunk. This is actually our first glass, so it takes a while to kick off. No, okay. Remember, I was talking about filters and
Yep.
your relation to synthesizers. When I was at Willem II studio, they had all these gorgeous passive filters, and I immediately thought of whiskey when I was playing them, because there was such a richness in tone that I've never heard from any other like real life synthesizer. So when I returned from Willem II, I immediately had to get an old 1950s passive filter, and that just it has that tone, it has that richness that I associate with a really really good whiskey. And of course, a filter in the end is just a filter, but how a filter filters matters a whole lot, I think.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So basically,
But did you get the filter that you like?
yes, yes, yes. I got a different one. Because it's always with this stuff, you have to basically get what you can find, and I couldn't get like this. The filters that I love are Vandal and Goltermann, and they are really expensive if you even find them. So I got an Allison Labs filter. We're gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna switch to this small webcam and see if I can show you it. This might kill the whole stream. So, shall I do it?
Yeah, go
Shall I
for it.
try?
Go for it.
Shall I try? Uh, uh, uh. What does lag? Project Null. Is there a lag in the video and the audio? Okay, so I'm gonna go to settings. I'm gonna switch my camera to this little webcam. Yeah.
Works.
Hello. It
It
works.
works.
Okay. So what we have here is that Allison Labs filter, and that's also all over my isolation loops sound pack, and it's such a rich tone. I can demonstrate you. So now we've got the sound coming from the Erica syntrax
Yeah, I
here.
need to ask you about that one.
Yeah, it's a lovely one. And now this is going to my mixer here, and I put the filter and drop down box above the chat, from top chat to live chat. I don't miss messages. Aha, cool. Good that Ben is here. He knows more about this than I do.
He knows all about chats.
Yeah. So let's show you the filter. So now it should be this one. .
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So this is pretty much a very rich sounding filter. And yeah, it does formants, Jim Roller. You're absolutely right. It has this oh thing that's really beautiful. And the original signal that we were hearing is from the Syntrax. Dip. And it sounds like this. So that's quite the pronounced difference, definitely. So, and then I feel this reminds me very much of like a Woolin, this kind of filter. And I've got another one. This is like a small, cheap one, which is really, really, yeah, I got a bunch of those. And that's
how many of those do you have now?
I have 3, I think, here, or 2, and one is with Sam, Look Mono Computer. He wanted to modify it. So this should also be working right now. No, why is it not working? I'm not going to spend too much time if it doesn't work. It isn't working because that's too pre. Okay, cool. So same vowel equality, general. You can make it more vowely by adjusting the feedback because it's on an aux, so I can make it more. Just have to take care it doesn't feedback. And this one you can just switch.
Oh, that's nice.
If I carefully up the gain, yeah, there it was. You have to ride the gain so there's no feedback. This is really nice, basically. So I'm gonna switch back to the other camera now. Settings, and I'm going back to. So I can't use OBS for this because basically we're using like a streaming provider. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Perfect. I'm back. So
oh god, that was a bad
I had to. I get called Heinbach so often, even though I say in the beginning of every video that I do, "Hi, I'm Heinbach. Good to have you back," which should be kind of an indication between the difference.
Yeah, but you should have an episode how to pronounce the name.
No. Basically, every intro is. So, so this little Brilliant Care filter to me sounds very. What can I say? How can I say? Very like chocolatey. So it has a really chocolate taste. So it would probably in whiskey. This would be a Bunnahabad, which I also probably what's it called? Butchered terribly in the name, but this has a very toffee-like, chocolatey, caramelly taste to it. So I'm a very synesthetic person. I see colors with music, and I feel like I've got sensations in my fingers when I listen to sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what happens to me when I play with filters. I taste whiskey.
Wow. Oh. Okay, that makes sense now. That explains a lot about your music.
It's
a different way to appreciate your music now. Mm-hmm. But chocolatey for a filter? Yeah, I've never heard that before.
I think this little Brilliant Care one is absolutely chocolatey.
Okay.
What's a good chocolate and whiskey combination, Oliver Kahn? I definitely think like really dark chocolate. I like Lind chocolate, you know.
Yeah, they're really good.
That's like stuff my mother buys, and it's really I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And then something that's not so sweet, like a Talisker. That's very good. Yeah. And yeah, basically I just did a short like thing about the Syntrax, if you noticed already, but we're gonna get back to that later.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm gonna ask him questions about that because I think it's very interesting. Yeah, it looks very fancy.
It is. It's lovely. Fleursborough, what fuck? You make me curse. I don't curse. You have to be careful what I read. I have headphones. Yeah, head with HEED. Yes, and I just got these today. So because Head is a small company, I know Freddie.
Small company, huge headphones.
It's a huge headphone, but it's actually like it's run by the guy, like it's a father and son business. It's the guy who made the original Adams speakers and designed basically this tweeter design, like that, these ribbon tweeters. And they approached me and wanted to cooperate on stuff. And yeah, they sent me these headphones to try out, and they are big, but they don't feel like it. It's really crazy. I've been wearing these all day, and they sound like what did I say that Ziri wants to now open up? No, they still feel good, and I don't feel sweaty or anything, and they sound amazing. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing headphones sound wise. It feels like I'm having speakers on my head.
Wow, that's
So
good.
this is actually pretty good. So yeah, the speakers are also good.
How do they feel on the ears?
Very good. I mean, like, I've been wearing these a long time, and it's still pretty good. There, and I'm like very, what's it called? I've got glasses, so I'm very picky.
Yeah, yeah. I used to wear glasses as well, and that was always a pain when you're wearing these. And after a while, you get, you got a small pain on the side, and it kind of on paper it sounds a bit like, who cares? But if you wear headphones for a few hours, it's going to be a huge pain.
Yeah, there's one thing about the headphones that I usually use, and these are already used before, and they've got something that's really sucky. If you see the headband, you can probably guess why they suck for wearing longer times.
Does it? What?
They've got little ridges.
Oh.
So they press, like, they've got less space. There's less space on your head, so they hurt after some time. And they weigh like half of what these weigh, and they're literally less comfortable. So
that's a pain.
Yeah, but
I think the ones that I have were like very standard AKG ones. They're okay.
How are you? Hey, Freddie. Nice to see you. Yeah. And they're open back. And in fact, one thing that I noticed is when you stroke them like this, they make a lovely like ringing sound. And it's not noticeable when you like the grills. It's not noticeable, or when you listen to music, it doesn't like resonate. But you can hear that probably if I do it like this. And I want to sample that. It's really good.
Yeah, sounds like a Heinbach sample.
No.
You could definitely use that. Put that through the Coco Quantus.
Everything through the Coco Quantus is better, and then half speed on tape.
Okay.
Headphones, I don't think they suck. It's generally, I mean, I like working more with generally with speakers, even like because it's more relaxing to the ears, and that's like direct into ears when you patch something wrong. But for working at night and for some things, they're just glorious. I mean, every tool has its application, and I think headphones have their guerrilla home recording.
This is how I got to appreciate headphones. This is a book about doing home recording and not caring so much about what you have, trying to put it to good use. And this guy, what's his name? Carl Korayat. Did I kill the name? Probably. But he was saying that headphones is like a microscope for your sound. And I think it's a good way of thinking about it. Super useful to have them around.
Mm-hmm.
And a good way to work with. So if you don't have a treated room, because I don't have a treated room, super useful to use that instead of just trying to fix the sound in your room.
Okay. So what was the guerrilla recording by?
I can show it again.
Yeah.
I think it's a good book to have. You get some ideas. I love reading books about. There you go.
Mm-hmm. How to get great sound from any studio. Cool.
Yeah,
by Carl Korayat.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a fairly old. Let me see. The copy that I have is 2005. So, fairly old. But it's not. Yeah, well, especially when it comes to audio technology, I would say Well, I think I have gear that's far older than that.
Yes. Let me, in regards to guerrilla stuff, let me just, Konstantin, I'm just gonna, for 1 second, I'm just gonna like go to my screen full screen.
Yeah.
So because here's one thing, this is a perspective that you don't normally see. This is behind me are dope traps. This is basically thermal hemp. They were 4 centimeters thick, and they have the same absorption as like rock wool or like the stuff that you usually use to make these acoustic absorbers, only except it's natural. Your studio smells like Bunny's been living there for 2 weeks after you installed it, but it actually makes a huge sound difference. When I installed these here, it's basically just 5 layers of these and into a normal frame. Some people do them into Billy, like IKEA Billy, but you can just DIY your own frame. It's really simple, and even I can do it. And I'm really not handy, and these are like the reason this room sounds any good. So this is one of the guerrilla recording techniques that I use.
Yeah, do whatever you can. If it sounds good, it is good, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then there's another thing, like there's another a relatively cheap but very effective thing that I have acoustic wise in my studio. Those are called, what are they? Basotect. They are really good. Basotect absorbers, they kill the early reflections. That's only what they're for, early reflections killing. So you take a mirror, are in the position where you are, and then you see where your monitors are, and then you can like get the perfect position for where you should position them. So the early reflections from your speakers are killed. And I really, I installed these first, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But the dope traps behind me made the big difference. And I'm very much of a friend of the, like, I worked in a studio recording reseller, and they make studios and there was always the theory about the live wall and dead wall, you know. So one wall is live and reflective, and the other wall just soaks up the sound. So you always know where the sound is coming from, and that's what I try to do here as far as I can.
Cool. But how do you use the? I didn't get. How do you use the mirror in order to figure out exactly where you need to place those?
Let me just. I have to remember this was ages ago, but basically you are in the position, you know, where you're monitoring, and you've got your speakers already set up, basically, and then you can, by moving through like that wall and that wall, you can see where the I'm gonna mess this up, but I think you can see where the basically where the sound would be reflected. There are tutorials for that online. It's the
I'm sure
mirror early reflections method, and it really works well. So basically, I DIY'd the whole stuff in here, the acoustics, but I got good advice from people who build professional studios, and you can do a complete. Paul Stibble, sit in your listening chair, get a friend to hold the mirror against the wall. Where you see your speakers is where you place the absorber. Exactly. That was it.
Nice.
I had a neighbor come in, and she just held the mirror, and that was how we did it. Thanks, Paul. Exactly. Genuits, I have actually no. We are our own neighbors because we've got this floor, we've got the floor there, and now we got the apartment over there. So this is why I can be pretty loud in here, and that's why I can have like big speakers like the Head 20s that I have here and make music. And I can't do this at night because the kids sleep upstairs, but there's really no noise problem. The only noise problem basically is, and you might have heard it, and you will probably hear in all my coming videos because of the lockdown and the kids are being homeschooled right now, you will hear the kids' voices in the background on most of my videos now.
Yeah, but that's nice. I actually, I know your kids, but it's still, I find it cute whenever I hear, whenever I hear people talking in a video. It's more cozy.
Yeah. Drums. That's my nephew, by the way. He, might have known from some videos, and he's got his own channel, and he's remixing hip hop. And now he's asking, can each of you tell me your favorite soundtrack for me to sample? Still searching for ideas. We're talking about like making like a prison soundtrack sampling hip hop track. So if you get favorite prison movie samples, yeah, put them in the comments. And so my nephew can find some cuts to edit. That would be lovely. Thank you very much. Aaron, how terrifying is your electricity bill? It's gotten like double since I started the test equipment.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But I'm very conscious. I've got like I switch everything is on breakers, so I can switch everything, not breakers, but like I switch everything only on when I need it, and then I turn it off again. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have stuff separated. But you have a big wall in the studio, right?
What do you mean a big wall?
A big wall of the test equipment stuff.
Yeah. And everybody keeps telling me like, oh, is that not like too much for the floor?
Yeah, because it's heavy.
Yeah, I think it's heavy, but I think like a bookshelf is also really heavy. So and there's lots of like empty air in between, so I should be fine. And it's also not moving. I heard a horror story where someone like had like a what's it called, a washing machine tumbling down. I was like, it's not happening to me. No, my stuff doesn't tumble. So unless I drops on my head.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm just thinking whether you should get a test equipment that tumbles.
I've had like this filter that I was showing you before. Like this fell on my head, and it fell on my head, gave me like a big like bump, and then it smashed another piece of test equipment, and then it was down, and it wasn't hurt in any way. It was just like, meh, you're all weak. I'm brilliant care. You are all weak.
yeah. These things are made like tanks, right?
Yeah. Frank Peterson, he's got a question for you, Konstantine.
Streamed by StreamYard. Yep, we are.
No.
It's nice.
It was your suggestion, by the way, Konstantine. We're streaming through StreamYard, and I bought like a subscription to that, so we can do it dual style. So yeah, if you wanna hit that, what's it called? That donate thingy for there, so we can pay for the stream. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's hard to do self promo, but sometimes you have to. So so.
But we can sit here and drink the whiskey. You guys, cheers! I poured a second one already. So
yeah, this is also my second one.
You did it silently. I didn't notice.
No. Floppy disk. Are you using an amp with the headphones? No, I'm just using the RME Babyface, which is Pro, the RME Babyface Pro, which is my interface since ages, and it just works really well. This is like a really cool piece of kit, and it's RME is so expensive, but for the stability that it gives you, it's not. So I've had situations with cheaper interfaces where that broke productions, and I can't afford that. So RMA has always worked for me. There's never been a glitch, except for once when I switched to the new MacBook, but that has already also disappeared. So Babyface Pro drives headphones well and can even decently drive a Shure SM here, this microphone, which I use for voice, and this needs 55 decibels of clean gain. So yeah.
Ben says something about the StreamYard thing. Lower thirds, I don't know what that is. StreamYard giveaway. Interested to know if people think it's easier going down OBS. I've tried OBS for the powwow shows that we're doing in Copenhagen. It's okay, but it's far more complex to set up by comparison. StreamYard is very, like, what's your take, Hanbach? Because you're doing the back-end stuff on StreamYard.
It's super easy. And the one thing that kicked me right now was because I didn't realize you had to go live. I forgot that you have to like manually press the go live button. And then I pressed go live, and then it said, oh, you are not logged in. So it took me completely to the login page. I got a code, and then I had to go back, and was like, this is nightmare. But then I came back, and everybody was there, and it's always working. So yeah.
Yeah, seems to be smooth so far.
Yeah. So it works well, I think, and it's nice. I mean, like, it's nicer than OBS, I think, if you're streaming with many people, but I don't really know. So yeah, so far it works well, but it costs like $25. So
yeah. Whereas OBS is open source, I think, and free.
Yeah, exactly. And I've used OBS a lot. I did all the powwow streams were all OBS that I curated in Berlin. So yeah. But now I even like I got fancy with streaming, so I set up the GH5 that I use for filming, and now I'm going via HDMI into a capture, so I can get like a nice picture instead of the webcamy one. So that's constantly zooming, and that personally for me makes a big difference.
You can disable that one because I'm using since we went a completely different route now. But I'm using why not though? We're amongst friends, so I'm using the same Logitech webcams for this one, and there's software that you can just disable the autofocus because it was a pain. So
yeah, definitely. But when you get two, you can't. One is always like moving, at least on Mac.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Darren, Patch Point. Do you have a goal for the number of scotches to drink during the episode?
We should stick to one. Well, at least one.
You mean like one bottle? Yeah, one bottle. No, you mean glasses? I thought you meant glasses. That's unlimited right now. But it's basically because I'm drinking a Knock-and-Do, and Konstantine's drinking the Whitest Tears, and we decided to do each episode a new whiskey. So it's not like, because that would be a lot of money to buy all these different whiskeys, basically.
Yeah, so if I went 2 or 3 whiskeys per episode, I would run out very quickly, wouldn't I?
Yeah. But right now, this is fine. Yeah, because it's hard to get like time to drink actually, because with all the questions, which is awesome. Please keep asking questions.
I'm also a bit worried. I'm also drop the serious questions. Nice one, Ben. But I'm also worried about since the situation is a bit weird. I'm worried because in Sweden there's a very specific place where you can go and buy alcohol. You can't get it everywhere. So I'm a bit worried. Maybe those will close down. Although I'm fairly sure that if they close the places where you can buy alcohol, there's going to be panic on the streets.
I think those will be classified as essential.
Yeah, probably. That would be very funny if they did that.
Mm-hmm. So like, Leonard Regebo, I think you have given the name to the modular synthesizer I'm planning, the single malt, because each module should do only one thing. That's a great topic.
Yeah,
I think I love Dupfer for that. I love Dupfer systems because you can look at them and then you know basically what to do. I get confused by menus. I really get confused by menus. Even on pedals, if on pedals have it as a menu, I'm like, really menu? No, but
it depends on the menu.
It depends on the menu. Yeah, you from your perspective as a designer more, you've got a different idea on that. But I think I prefer single function modules that can be, of course, many functions due to the way you patch them. And I mean, I love maths, which is definitely not a single function module, but everything is basically on the surface and then in the patching in your head. So no hidden layers.
I think Mutable Instruments nailed it in the same way with the Stages module. I have it right here. That's why I'm pointing here. Okay. I was having it, and I think it's the same. It's the same idea. It's the idea. It depends on how you patch. Like the menu system here is very minimal. You just toggle a few buttons, stuff like that. But it's the idea, like how you patch it up changes the functionality of the module, which I think is a good idea. It's a good concept. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind menus as long as I don't really have to remember stuff. Okay. So if it's button combos and like I think the best premise when you're trying to design something, and I'm not a designer, by the way. I thank you for putting me up as one, but I can't.
I remember going through many designs of many modules that you like had a part in at least. So
okay, I participate. I have some ideas, but I can't claim to be a designer by any means. But I think the main premise would be like, don't make me think, right? Mm-hmm. So I can scroll about stuff and change settings and stuff, but I don't want to remember things.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I used to remember button combinations when I played Street Fighter, but once I switched to Mortal Kombat, I would have forgotten the button combinations for Street Fighter. So, and then the module are constantly switching and you're making music. So, it's...
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this, there still is this video game, which is a fighting game called Soul Calibur. Have you ever played those?
No idea. No.
Okay, so what I really liked about that, and I've never thought about it before, but I think it's a good way to So you have button combos like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and you need to remember the moves. But then you have the premise of Soul Calibur, which is okay. So this button hits high and this button hits low. And then you don't. It's intuitive how you build up the combos. You don't have to remember stuff. It just happens because you're just adding like high hits and low hits and kicks and stuff, and things just
because happen. It's in the kinetic movement of the whole thing.
Exactly. So it becomes intuitive after a few. Like you just play once, or after 2 minutes, you're like, oh, okay. And maybe there is a hidden move that you have to think about a bit or read, but you don't really have to remember all like the up, down, right, left, and stuff like that. And I think it's a good. I've never thought of this paradigm, but I think it could be shifted to modules as well.
How? Okay, now that's got me curious. But how would you like? So basically, it's like a logical path that you follow in the menu structure, right? That's not like, because many like there's like a certain, I feel like there's the musician's logic or the player's logic in that case, and then there's the technician's logic, you know?
Yeah.
And the technician's logic is like to go like into like, I don't know, into like Excel sheets, you know?
Yeah.
And then this function is this. There's some like, I mean, there's there are examples of this in different modules, and that can, when you're in the musical mindset, this feels like, oh, the module wants to, or the instrument wants to do your wants you to do taxes. So like,
oh god,
I mean, like I've for me, like one thing that's totally striking, I love old romplers. So I've never made a video or anything about that. They're like my secret down here. And I love the EMU ones.
It's right there. XV 2020, not old. Well, old by today's standards.
I love the old EMU Prototypes modules, and you can just, it's perfect. You just start it, and everything is perfect. Everything works. Everything is easily laid out. I can understand it without looking at the manual. And then I've got a Roland from like 2 years later, like string Rompler. And it's a nightmare to navigate. It's a nightmare to navigate because everything is like with combinations. You need always the manual to go where you are. You need always a cheat sheet. With the Pro Toys, both of them, it's just fun. And you can see, like, I think, was it Eric Pershing, who does Spectrasonics now? He had a hand in that.
Wow.
And it's just it's the best UI that you can have on something like a 19-inch rack. It's amazing.
Yeah, the rack menus.
Roland.
Well, yeah, I think Yamaha is more notorious for making really weird menus to dive into.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, like, from my experience with the QYs, which I adore, they're like super nice instruments to have around. But yeah, I think like the menu system on those is kind of a pain. I think Yamaha is the most notorious one for having a very deep menu system. Mm-hmm. But the way I programmed the XV, the 2021, is through the software. And I think it's super nice to get too many options. Otherwise, I get lost on the software sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are synthesizers that open up, like my DX7 behind me here. When I start programming that with something like Dext, it just opens up so much. And I tried like programming it, like I went hardcore and programmed it like did. And while that is like fun to do like as a challenge, it's not very it's not very satisfying in the end. But when you use something like Dext, it just like becomes, you can do all these envelopes, you can just draw them, and then it translates them, and then you play it in the app back, and then okay, it's fine, and then you upload that patch basically to the DX7, and then you hear like, and it's so good. It's like it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
So that's Yamaha structure also, and it's still, I mean, like for what the DX can do, it's still pretty logical. It's just hard to program something as powerful as FM synthesis on the DX.
How's the Electron stuff? What was the name of the one that they did that was FM stuff?
The Dickey Tone? That's super easy. The Dickey Tone. That's like, oh no, my camera shut up.
Ah, okay. I can dance. People can look at me in the meantime.
Oh, my camera shut off because I think we're already talking. Oh, are we talking for an hour? Yeah.
Nope. It's 40. Well, it's 40 minutes live and 10 minutes offline.
So yeah, batteries. I can switch the battery, but I'm gonna just move to this other camera. Give me a second.
Yep.
Settings, camera.
Live shows. There you have it.
Oh, that's an
Up
angle.
close.
That's too close, Heinbach. Too close. Don't. That's like violating the minimal distance that has been declared by the government.
I think we're safe.
Yeah, we're safe. Good. Doesn't look that much worse. Now I need to move here.
Yeah. Jump.
I'm on a jumpy chair.
Yeah, you have the bumpy thingy.
Yeah, no, I've switched to like a whole like standing setup.
Close back. That's a good one.
Close back.
Yeah.
Don't stand so close to me. Good. No, can't move the mic here.
Yeah.
Gonna move that camera. It's live. We're doing it live. So blah blah blah. So learning for next time: get a power supply for the GH5, if there is such a thing. Good.
The power supply or the next one.
So cheers to changing cameras midstream. That even works. I mean, in OBS, this would have been a drama. I remember.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
I remember. Oh god. So this is really nice that you can just like switch cameras like that.
You did the powwow shows for Berlin before we started doing the powwow shows for Copenhagen. Mm-hmm. And I remember your first advice. Was it? Yeah, it was your first advice. It's like tape all the cables down. Specifically, the USB cables that go with the cameras, which was that was a good advice.
I found that so like the whole thing about the power streams, like it was so crazy. You had all this amazing audio gear, like these beautiful modular synthesizers, XLR connections. Sorry, just Siri tends to think I say things to her. So no, just these beautiful instruments and cool audio connections. But then you get like these USB cams. It's just and they are with the most fragile connections and like hubs ever. That was yeah, but they work. I mean, like this C920, it just works for this thing. Frank Peterson, Heinbach Konstantine, favorite modules.
Ooh, that's a tough question, Frank. I don't think we've had enough whiskey to open that kind of worms.
Schwayman Res 4.
Ooh. Yeah, right. You love that thing, right?
Yes. Schwayman Res 4.
Good night, Paul. Okay. Schwayman. I think the resonant EQ is one of my favorites. Ben mentioned it before. Like he got one of there's a new smaller version from Guillaume, a friend of mine from Belgium, and he got one. But I love that thing. Nothing sounds like it.
I really think so too. Like the Res EQ and especially like the tropical military version I got from Patchpoint. Darren, if you're still in the chat, it's really lovely. It just sounds so rich. And then probably by now I have to say that everything from Random Source sounds super good.
I'm actually very intrigued by their modules. Like I have 3 resonant EQs right now, one of which is from Random Source, and I'm very intrigued. Like the user interface is super lovely, their design is super nice and friendly, very welcoming. I've never been. I appreciate Surge, but I was never intrigued before. But I've considered getting like an old Surge Random Source system and just having all the modules there.
It makes total sense. I think we've got a guest here. Hello, Ada. Yeah.
Hello.
Die Butter.
Hello.
Okay, Konstantin, you'll have to take the stream for just a minute while I make my little one a midnight snack.
Yeah, don't worry. I can talk about the resonant EQ for hours, and Ben is around, so there's stuff to talk about. Yeah, so Ben is saying that the Surge resonant EQ. Actually, since we're here, let me just show you this version. Well, I have 3, as I said before. This is the latest one. You guys see it. It's probably. Let me see if I'm showing correctly. I think it's easier to show this camera. Yeah, it's like a smaller one. The reason I got it because I already had the resonant EQ from Random Source here, but I just wanted to get something smaller to gain some space. Plus, I'm a sucker for sliders. anyone who knows me knows that I have a thing. When a module has sliders, I'm just super interested in it. But anyway, so the thing is, it just sounds so nice, and the sevenths, it makes everything sound like an acoustic instrument. Hello, welcome back.
Slider sucker butter kids.
Yeah,
Mr. Slider. Okay, okay, yeah. We found the butter.
slider sucker. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a
That's you.
yeah,
right?
but it should be like a noise,
Everything
like
is
a
there.
power electronics gig thing. Slider sucker.
Regarding to modules that are my favorites, it's basically the Harvestman, all the Mark 1 modules. The Hertz Donut Mark 1, the Piston Honda Mark 1, the Double Endor Mark 1. I love all of them because they've got a very special raw sound to them that reminds me of the Waldorf PPG, which is my favorite synthesizer that I'll probably never own. But it's just, those are very special. And just the sound is good. I love them.
Yeah, very raw. The original Harvestman stuff, the first versions, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mark 1. Piston Honda Mark 1. There's just something special to them. I don't know what it is. It's the parts.
I'm trying to think of old stuff that I like. Like, it's weird because it hasn't been these many years, but it's funny to think about some of the modules that are supposedly old by now. Like, considering Harvestman as an old thing, it's like, what? Really? It isn't that. Yeah. But yeah, there's I think there's enough stuff. I mean, even braids from Mutable Instruments would be considered old now.
Yeah, definitely.
Every week I see new stuff. First thing I do in the morning, I just check my phone on Modular Grid and go like, okay, what's the new stuff today?
I used to do that for a time. It's really, that were crazy times. I mean, it's part of the reason, like when I discovered like Seat Lombard, I was kind of happy to be out of that loop, out of the Modular Grid loop. So to not always check what's new, because it's just overwhelming. But I think it's also like old stuff doesn't sell well, except when it's Schweiman. And yeah, definitely, Ben. It's your full-time job to keep up with all of that, and you're doing a great job on that. And that's where I get my infos now, because yeah, it's really hard to see what's all happening, and then because companies put out like 5 modules at the same time. Yep. Because they kind of have to, because everybody's looking for the new shiny, and it's not like your back catalog sells unless you've made like an evergreen, like I mean, Chaos with their Batumi, for example. It's an evergreen, or Make Noise with Maths. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think, well, I actually think most Mutable stuff is as well. Like they're all of them are, well, not all of them, but most of them are bestsellers as well.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah. I would say so.
And also Make Noise, I think, like most of the models, very few exceptions, I would think. Like as soon as Tony comes up with something, it's a bestseller for them.
Yeah. I mean, there were stuff like the Telemonium, which I sound Telemonic, which I love the premise. I love the old premise of going like back into like ages and seeing and taking inspiration from that, going into the 1910s in that regard. And taking inspiration from this giant machine that was made for radio broadcasts, and then making a module out of that. And I really liked the sound. And I remember when we had our first modular meetup in Athens.
Yeah, first modular meetup in Athens. That was fun.
Yeah. We talked about the sound of that, and I heard it in, I think, who had it? The lovely guy who does like Goa raves.
Okay, yeah. So that would be who was it? This Goa raves. Nectarios. Yeah. Okay.
Nectarios, exactly. Yeah, he had it, I think, and he showed us. It sounded really good. I think it had a special sound to it, and I react to special sound. So that's actually a module that I would be super curious to try out now. It's probably cheap somewhere to find, right?
Probably, yeah. I don't have many. I'm sorry, Make Noise. but I don't have many of their modules. I have a few though that I think are very special, and one of which is the Mr. On. Am I pronounced? Was that the
Oh,
name?
okay, Mr. On. What was that again?
'Cause I think it was. Well, I can check it. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it's Mr. On. I have the case right there because it makes a really damn good cello sound.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
It's like a double waveguide thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I think it's a good module to have. Well, if you like, I like string sounds. I'm trying like I have a case right there which is dedicated to trying to
Yeah.
make physical modeling of string sounds.
Yeah.
And the Mr. On is a really good addition to that.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for synthesized strings. Like, behind me, you can see there's the big string orchestra from Hohner, which is just amazing. And then there's a lovely string sound mode on the Konstantine Swarm by EOWave, which I've completely fallen in love with. It's just like, sounds immediately like those 1970s horror films by D'Argento. It's really, that has that vibe. It's really lovely. I'm a sucker for synthesized string sounds. And yeah. Bye, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
Have a see you in a chat soon, hopefully.
Have a good weekend.
And Leonard Rigbo, you just bought a new drum machine. You have 6 machines now. Oh, drum machines. I only have like 1 now on tap, which you should be hearing. Let's send this to a filter also. And give it some extra sounds. First to guess it gets cheers.
Is that the D1000?
Yes, it is of course the D1000. Yeah, that's a super lovely drum machine, like a vacuum. Yeah, Joe, you got it also. So cheers. Cheers. That's the Metasonics D1000. It's a rather beautiful vacuum tube drum machine. You need so many ways to make it really sound good. So here it's running through a gate because it has a big hum, and you need to like work your way around it. But the way I'm using it now, I'm also spreading it to many of these passive filters, and it's such a playable machine. It's just like switches, and it's an 8-step sequencer, but it just sounds so good. Everywhere I played it, I played like in big clubs, big venues, small clubs. It just kicks everywhere. It just works. So once you, but it also teaches you about like tiniest increments, because it's, I think like Eric left the range on those. At least that's what he writes on all the R series modules and this purposely wide, because he knows as the tubes age, like the range will spread. So you actually like get a wider range on the dials. And when you buy it new, or when it's like just 5 years old, the range is really, it's really close. So you have to just tiny adjustments. It was like a good education to learn.
It changes with age.
Yeah, oh yes, we like whiskey. Metasonics drum machines and modules get better with age.
Cool, that's nice.
Yeah.
There was a question before that I wanted to answer by floppy disk about the Cakemix, because I know my friends in Copenhagen hate it. We tried it on the first powwow as a USB to audio, like a AI, like a audio interface, and it wasn't. People didn't like it, but I think it's a fine thing. But I beta tested for the software, so you can take my opinion with a grain of salt. Yeah. I'm biased. I like it because I really like quad panning stuff, and this thing can do up to 7.1. Such a compact thing. You can just put it in your bag. I really like it, and you can say one of the nice things is that you can save the presets. Just lovely, small.
I had their Q-Neo, and I tried to do something that I can do now very easily. I tried to do like something like this, you know? Like I tried to emulate the Buchla Thunder controller on the Q-Neo. And that was bound to fail because the resolution was just not up to speed. So I'm curious, how's the resolution on these on the
It's
this
good.
one?
It's not as if you're playing that like it's a mixer. It's not the same thing as a fader, as a slider, obviously, but it's nice, and I like the fact that you can just jump, but it feels okay. I think like they even promoted when it first came out. It's been years. Weird.
Cool.
God, it's like what, 6 years already?
Wow.
But yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
But
this different level on like controllability now.
yeah, I mean things have changed a lot in the past few years.
Yeah.
But
Oh, everybody!
I love playing it.
Just noticing everybody's coming in from the Lookmanu computer stream. Has Sam finished playing? Awesome. Yeah, that's when I realized that he was playing at the same time. I was like, no, we should all coordinate. And in the end, it's gonna be like old school television programs, you know. And people are switching between streams. Maybe that's gonna be fun. And I just see, a lot of people are dropping in.
Yeah, I was bummed to miss his live show. But
yeah, no, I've seen a bunch of his shows, and it's really fun in person. The one thing that I'm
I
really
saw you guys playing. You were playing at the same time, right? Like in Berlin.
Yeah, Super Booth number 2. Yes, yeah. He played at my wife's cafe. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a nice show.
That was a nice show. We had a Function 1 in there. It was really good.
Yeah, and the acoustics in that place were absolutely stunning.
Yeah, you played.
What was it? Yeah, I played as well, but it was like 3.7,
3.4
seconds delay. That was an amazing reverb.
No. Yeah, but one thing, I love how lots of people are doing live streams recently. It says C3197899. I have no numbers. But yeah, we kind of have to. And I feel like one thing that's, for me, the most beautiful thing about music is playing live. And that's basically when I was 15, I played for my first time live on stage. And I got so hooked by that I knew there's something I want to do for the rest of my life. And now, not being able to play in front of an audience directly, like being in the room with people and reacting to those, while I've honed my skills like for the past 6-10 years to improvise and be with the audience, it's really hard. And that's why these streams are so nice right now, because they give me some of that, and they give me personally like a sense of that risk and the sense of something can go wrong. And I'm gonna do some live streams also with playing music, but yeah, I need that risk, and I just don't know how I can get the feeling back from you, like from all the people commenting here, because when I make music, I can't feel like the comments pop up unless someone has an idea on how to develop visuals that you guys could control.
But how do you get, when you're playing live in a concert situation, how would you say you get the vibe from the people? Do you just look up from when you're playing and look at the audience, see people dancing, just moving around, or what?
Dancing is rare with my music. But
Swaying,
nodding heads, kissing, making out, sleeping, chilling out on the floor. I don't know. There's just a vibe. People, mostly the best things is if people are just quiet and listening. That's the most amazing thing. And that's what happens during my best live shows. Everybody's like, okay, and being like physically overwhelmed, and then also go into their own space and their own world, which is something that I like. What? Oh, thank you. Oh, and I have to. A swarm of insects. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Cheers to you for that. And what was that? No. But now the idea that I'm getting now is, how could I do a live stream? And how could I feel how people are? Because I think if people could, what people, if they could
take your time.
moods, if there would be a way to like to convey mood. I feel like this now. I feel like this, and then convey that back to me through some kind of light. You know,
Yeah,
that would work.
colors, especially
Colors,
for
yeah.
you, since you said you have synesthesia. It
Yeah,
could work with
colors.
colors. Yeah.
How would we?
You should contact. Well, depends on what the platform is for you to. I can think of a few ways.
Yeah,
Control your own.
Yeah, Omri just says there are some live streams where people write something and the synthesizer changes notes or something. Maybe it's possible to make it with visuals too.
Yeah, wouldn't there be like a big lag there? But it would be nice with the colors though.
NeoPixels, yeah, could be an idea. You can do that with Philip Hue bulbs. I have those. Okay, so Mad Hawk Music. How can I do that with the Philips Hue bulbs? Because I have those here. They're why everything is blue. So yeah, the smell is definitely important, G-Nuts. I think so too. But
scary thought.
Twitch plays synthesizers. Ah, yes, that also exists. Interesting. Twitch has a more robust API for that.
Yeah. How do you guys, a good platform?
Yeah, that's generally like a question. I mean, Konstantin, for me, it was clear that we would like stream on YouTube because they've got an audience already, and you guys get notified. But yeah, is Twitch streaming something you prefer, or is YouTube just fine?
Can you do both? I don't know if you could plug stuff on Twitch so they could change the color on your room, on your studio from Twitch, but also stream on YouTube at the same time.
Yeah, and then would need like someone to manage everything, like a stream manager here.
Stream manager.
Stream manager.
That's a job from the future. Stream manager. I manage your streams.
No. Ah, Aberrant, you do both? So you do like, is it called multicasting when you do both at the same time?
Eternal Spring says, using a live stream to control a modular video synth in your workspace would be how to do it. Okay.
I've got YouTube Super Chat, so that might also maybe work. But that's something you should look into the program crowd control as well. Look into some of the crowd participation, somebody talking custom. That might be somewhere where you find your solution.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's something I might look in for the stream, because that's also one thing I always interested in personally in experiments and in feedback, because that's I think one of the best things like that any musician or any artist can do is like get connected to a feedback system. If you exist in your own garage, it's fine, but once you get connected to a feedback system such as YouTube, SoundCloud, whatever, it's easier to grow as an artist, I think.
Yeah. But wouldn't that just point to I guess there's a balance between what you want to do as an artist, right, and what the audience expects of you. You need to balance it out some way.
No, definitely there has to be some kind of balance, but yeah. Chat to CV, Elham. Yeah, that would be interesting. That's like a module. There's one. Oh no, I'm not going to give away that secret idea. We still haven't. That would be like the one module that I would love to hear, and we've been talking about for ages, Konstantine. Because the one we've been talking about, like at Not the Worst Bar, when it goes crazy.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
Should we? I don't know.
Maybe someone would love to do that, because it's like Konstantine and me, because we're always in different countries, be it Greece, be it Sweden, be it Germany, Switzerland, wherever I go and wherever he goes. Skype does these wonderful robotic like, and we both sometimes talk like robots after, and we're sitting there drinking beer and we talk like robots to each other, which is super futuristic but also super retro.
It's funny.
But I would just love like a module that would simulate that sound. Like that.
I was expecting. Okay, I was hoping the conversation would go there, because there is a module that's coming out that does that. I'm not exactly sure whether they've nailed it or not. It's coming out. Yep, it's not called Skype glitching.
Okay.
but it's from Qubit. What was its name? Let me just check. I'm checking Modular Grid. Let's see. It's I think they're coming out with a Data Bender, circuit bend digital audio buffer.
Very nice, very nice. That's something I definitely have to try. That's cool. That's super nice. Just 1 second. Please don't ban me. Ah, yes, cool. Your thesis is done. Perfect. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to read that. Yeah. Korg Miku Stomp.
What's that about? 3 theses.
Yeah, no. Students that interviewed me for like for a thesis on participatory music, and and they finished their thesis, and now they're sending it to me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I love their name. Please don't ban me. That's not a good way to start a conversation on a chat.
Yeah. Omri, apropos CV and colors and such, I would love to get into video synthesis. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had like when my wife and me had our 40th birthdays, Darren was kind enough to lend us an LZX system for the party, and people were just fascinated. They just started to like, everybody got lost and they tried it. It's just fun. It's super fun. And I've got here like one Vectrex, which is modified by Derek Holzer, so I can do vector synthesis here, vector visual synthesis. But it's also such a time, it's like another world. It's like, it takes so much time. It takes a lot of time, but it's beautiful to do. It just takes a lot of time.
There was a lovely one that I saw. I've been considering the visual modules, the video modules, just for the live shows on Powwow or whatnot, wherever we have these. And I remember seeing a single one that could do a lot of stuff. It wasn't from LZX though. I'm looking into it. I think I saved it somewhere on Instagram. That's why I'm on my phone and checking right now. It was a super nice. There's so many stuff coming out, and the video world is just a new can of worms entirely.
Yeah. Please don't ban me. I had to change my YouTube name to Please Don't Ban Me because of the Berghain Minecraft video. I didn't. Can you drop that in the chat or like, and later send it to me with your thesis, because I would love to see the Berghain Minecraft video, because I don't know that. 16-year-old Lagavulin. Whoa, very nice. Very nice.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah. No. Did you find it?
No, I couldn't. I could, but I could start looking for it on Modular Grid, but that would take. That I'm gonna lose myself there, so I'm not. I'm not. I can.
The rest of the chat is just gonna be me.
Yeah, it's me going like, what's going on? Yeah, no.
Yeah. You get questioned what's about something behind.
Yeah, okay, that's a fun question, so I'm gonna answer. Oldie but goodie.
What the hell?
PMC 100 composer.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, weird thingy, and you can record stuff on the tape and play them back, and company style. Yeah, it's a weird device.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you make can you like multi-track music on the right with MIDI and then you record it to tape, or?
This thing does not do MIDI. I don't know how old it is.
Okay.
Is there like a Philips? Jesus. Head stereo micro. I don't even know. It's a fun thing.
Can I make a wish for next time we do this? Can you just make a little ditty with that? Just like
it's super. Yeah. We should. If I make something good, we should have it as an intro for the show.
Yes. Please do the theme music for this. It's better than me going woo on all these drone synthesizers here. Very nice.
Very 80s. You can tell from the colors. It's super fun.
Yeah. Colored. Interesting. Oh, lovely. Oh.
And I also have the, that's a gift from Heimbach people. Linguaphone.
Linguaphone. Yes, those are crazy. Yeah. took me a long time to check out how they actually like the compressor on the microphone is super hard. So that would also be like just like crush it.
Yeah, it does crush stuff.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I gave Heinbach. I gave you a. I love that I can't. I don't know whether I should be talking on the first person, on the second person, or third. But I gave you that weird dupe thingy about learning stuff in your sleep. Did you ever use it?
I didn't, because it's at patch point, still in the box, because I wanted to use it in my landfill totems, and then I was going to unpack it for Loop, which was canceled.
Ah, that's okay.
Jason Hoffman. Thank you for that. And yeah. What was I gonna say? So that's why I don't have that thing right now with me.
I'm very curious. I only know it works. I have never tried it. Should be, but as you know, I've had it in that store place for a long time, and then I was like, yeah, Heinbach is gonna appreciate that one.
So. Definitely. I mean, right now, luckily, like the camera perspective in this place is so that you can only see my torso and stuff. I've still got pants on. No, but what I want to say is like the floor is full of tapes and cables, because I basically installed a new mixing board here, and it takes forever to set up. And also, like right now with the whole situation, I'm in this weird space where I feel like doing an incredible amount of things. I feel like doing, but I also feel kind of depressed. So I'm basically not cleaning up first. I'm basically doing stuff and doing tiny increments of setting stuff up and taking care of the cleaning up of stuff.
But you've set up the studio, right?
Yeah. I've set up the studio so I can dub myself now. So, but and I can make music, but I still like one thing. I still haven't like plugged in the tape machine, because the patch bay is only like at 50% now. So setting up a patch bay, to anyone who has ever set up a patch bay knows that this is something that has to kind of naturally grow, or you need to like rethink it after like 2 weeks of usage. So
yeah, patch bays can be.
No.
Yeah, I know the deal. But you should show us the floor.
No. That's not happening. Is
it a secret?
No, it's just no. It's not that bad right now. It's just an aura tone down there that I usually have over there. So it's kind of sad to see an aura tone on the floor.
Yeah. Okay. No, don't. That's what gets your mood down, dude. Don't put it on the floor.
Nah, it's fine there right now. But I love my one thing that this is like the first studio place that I have where I'm completely happy. So this is really amazing. Like I had to get to be like, I don't know, 33 or 34 until I got like a space as nice as this. So I know the struggle, like living in a big city, trying to find a studio space is hardcore. And I feel really blessed to have found this at the time when this flat at the time was still affordable in Berlin before it all goes horrible. Yeah.
Erogenous tone structure. Okay, so that's a module that people have been talking about for video. But that's not the one that I was talking about. The one that I'm talking about is a white one with, I think it has RCA outputs. Could be wrong. Small white one. I'll find it. I'll find it for the next one, because I think it's worth looking into. It was very like, I don't usually go into the video world with modules, but this one was like, should I indulge myself?
It is super cool. I mean, if you go back into the really early history of my channel, like if you go to the first videos, I had a band called Jobs with 2 B's, and I made visuals for live, and I made them with the Reiskis HSS3J.
Ooh,
and
you pronounced that correctly. That's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I know the guy, and
nailed the name.
Yeah, and so these are like the first videos on my channel are like live videos for the band, basically. So where I used the triggerings and CV control to react with the music, which was krautrock with modular on drums and bass, and 2 guitarists and an additional bass. So it was fun. It was a great band, actually. So
you guys should check it out.
yeah, definitely. I can feel the whiskey a tiny bit now. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not counting how many I've had.
Oh, no, 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 no. How can you?
No.
Kosmische Rock. Exactly, René. Kosmische Rock. That's like, I want to record this album with Martin Stehr. And we were supposed to have like a live show next weekend, which is of course canceled, at Berghain Kantine. But we also want to work on that album, but then he had to go home for a family emergency. So yeah, so that's something that's coming, where we combine we do this crowd rock with the test equipment, and I'm really looking forward to making that album. I hope we'll finish it like by summer. That would be lovely. Lord Liver, I'm watching this video to procrastinate making a game. There's an open pitch right now. If anyone is ever doing a space exploration game and wants a soundtrack, I'm definitely up for that. I made one game soundtrack. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was lovely. I remember that one.
Yeah, and sadly the game is not available anymore. It's not in any store anymore. It's gone. But yeah, so I remember like making the music really quickly, like in 2-3 days, and then working at the same time on the sound effects. And that was hardcore to make the sound effects, because like little bleeps and menu stuff was easy because I just tune bim, boom, boom, to the major key of the music. But then there was this thing where it was really hard game, so you would die a lot, and I had to make that dying sound really satisfying, else you would have been like super frustrated from every time it happens. So I tried all these synthesizers. I tried everything that I had at the time and tried to make satisfying sound. And the programmer said, "Nah, it's not. Nah, I don't feel it. Nah." And he was right all the time. I was like, what can I do? And then I found the most satisfying sound in the world. And can you guess what it is? What's the most satisfying sound in the world? We'll give this 1 minute in the chat. Everybody post the most satisfying sound in the world while we have another sip of whiskey.
I'm not going to answer that one. I have some ideas.
Yeah, you also have to wait a minute. I'm just looking at the chat. A zipper going up? No. That's good. That's good.
That's a good one.
A Ferrari. Whoa, that's pretty good.
That would be a weird sound to have in a game when you die.
When your VCU rack starts working. That's good. Beer opening, yes. Water drops. Someone humming.
Yes, beer opening. Thank you, Luca.
Okay, keep on. I wish we had sponsors so we could like give like stuff to winners, because we got winners here.
Knife sharpening. Ooh.
Trainers in this thing. Dropping a load. Nah, that's a good feeling, but not a good sound. Train horn in distance. Knife sharpening. Wet kiss. Oh, old Kraftwerk sounds.
Fart.
Half speed. Flicker switch. Water. Fingernails on a blackboard. You're just trolling. Champagne. The filter on a Polyvox. Yeah, but that's synthesized fizz. My daughter's laughed off. Oh, of
Footprints on snow is also a good sound.
Silence. Bubble wrap. Pouring coffee. Great wine I bought today. That's sound. Beer opening. Bottle plop. Old doorknob. 808 clap. Oh, that's a good one. 808 clap is actually very satisfying.
Yeah, it is a nice one.
Dass es hier Live-Mucke gibt. Now, so there's not really live music.
Modems connecting. Good one.
Connecting. Piano on. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Modem. Wet thump of meat on a counter.
What? Wow. Okay. A hair dryer. That's a good sound. I love that sound.
Really? You like hair dryers?
I love hair dryers.
Okay. DX7 weird tape. That's good.
Remember that Bontempi? We both have the same Bontempi thing that makes. I just love that sound of the Bontempi thing with the air.
Iceberg cracking. Yeah, Trump having a heart. We're going for the dentist.
I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have to hear that word in this chat, but there you go.
A Mogafogger. Falling down the stairs. No, tape recorder. Stirring mac and cheese. Door stopper wiggling. We got 10 more seconds. 10, You have to read them out. 9. Konstantine, read them out.
All of them. The twisted tape loop. More
No.
plops. No politics. Water droplet. Heavy distorted screams for a couple of minutes. Copgan in an empty cider jug. Crisps. Qbert hopping squares? What? The sea. Wind. A broken down tape loop. Glass bottle breaking. A hug. How does a hug sound?
What? Show. This is a hug.
That's a weird hug.
Weird hug, yes. When you get your ear down. Okay, so stop, everybody. We have 2 people who answered correctly, at least in the not. There's no correct. Everybody has their own like sound that's the most satisfying. But it's bubble wrap. It was bubble wrap. I used bubble wrap.
That's a good sound.
Bubble wrap, and then of course we had people saying half speed on tape. I recorded the bubble wrap to tape, pitched it down, and then added all the layers of the different speeds, put reverb on it, and then it was like so same as you were exploding in this particle cloud, the sound would be as satisfying as that. So I combined and then I did like a deep sine from the filter of an SH02 by Roland, and then it was a really satisfying moment. So I'm thinking people just played it to have like this sound.
Okay, that sounds good.
No.
Did he accept it? The guy that was
he loved it. He loved it. So space exploration game. I'm ready to score you whenever you come in my world. So Heinbach's deodorant microphone.
That's a good one.
The game was called Brain Connect, and it's not available anymore. It was on the iOS store, so sadly it's gone.
Yeah. But now you have the opportunity to have your game, have the soundtrack. From
yes. Yeah. That was a nice moment, everybody. Cheers to you, whatever you're drinking. It's that was fun. That was fun.
Now I want to hear the sound of the bubble wrap exploding in space.
I would have to go to like my locker of old hard drives. That would be like, and then I would have to find the power supply to power that exact hard drive.
Don't go.
Oh, maybe there's a YouTube video from the game. That could be.
I think you uploaded something, didn't you?
Yeah, it was long ago. Yeah, it was long ago. Yeah. I've been if you've gotten like clues by this conversation already, I love video games, but as a dad of 2, I don't have time to play them anymore. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck watching like Let's Plays, and there's stuff like the Hollow Knight, and I love that soundtrack, and I loved like watching. I think I watched Bear Taffy, and he played the whole thing through, but he's moved to Twitch, so he's not like he had a good voice, which is also great.
Yeah,
right?
that's so important. And then people, they don't. It's funny that nobody comments on that.
I think many people do. They say stuff like, "I like to fall asleep to your voice," which is something that I often hear. So people put my videos on to fall asleep, and yeah, which is good. I think I like that. I actually like that.
I'm following Mandalore Gaming. I like his videos on. He does this reviews of games.
The Hand Banana. Thank you for the $10.
Welcome, Konstantine. Thank you very much, Hand Banana.
But one thing that helps, like every time, I think like this microphone, the Shure SM7B, I can hear that sound of the microphone on many voices, and I love hearing that sound on many voices. It's very intimate and powerful, and it's a mic you just want to touch and hold, because there's not like much body noise on that, which is really nice. It's a performance mic. And now the serious sound guys in the like those that record a lot of mics in the chat, I had a talk with a sound engineer in a theater, and he said, yeah, this mic is good, but it's not good for German voices.
Okay. Too much sibilance? Why was it?
Because what this does is like it makes everything sound smoother. You know, it makes it softer. The transients are not as harsh. And German has very hard transients. We talk very directly, and we've got this strong consonants. And this mic tends to not allow that. So you need like a different, you need a Neumann mic, like a Neumann U87 to capture the full German content. And that was interesting to me.
To have the German spirit of the sound. Yeah. Okay. No, but that's someone with experience talking, right?
Yeah, exactly. He has a lot of experience recording. I was really fascinated because that's one thing that German sound engineers are very obsessed with, is like this thing called Lesbarkeit, which means readability. How well can I read the signal? Is it represented in a way that everybody can immediately understand it? So if you've got a mic that's masking transients, or like they're gonna say, "Nah, this is no good. We need something more precise." And I like this mic for the English productions, but not when we have the Bundeskanzlerin on. So it's a different thing. It's a different world. And I mean, if I don't know how many of you are from America right now. I mean, what time is it over there? There are many time zones right now, but if you listen to NPR and stuff like This American Life podcast and stuff like that, they're all using German mics. They're all using the Neumann U87 microphone. And that makes such a decidedly different tone from the SM7B or Electro Voice EV20 mics that are normally used in like the radio podcasts, the radio casts, what you normally hear. And or something like Joe Rogan. He's also got these ones and stuff like that. But all the NPR stuff, it's recorded on Neumann mics. And there's a fascinating article out there on the reasons why. And it gives you a sort of detachment, definitely. Like the choice of microphone can like either like be like, I'm very much with you, or it can be like, I'm looking at you and I'm hearing what you're saying. So the choice of microphone matters. And if you've got something that's a bit more reserved, a Neumann U87 can be a better choice than something like this that rewards like being really close and high. And the Neumann has them, but to a much lesser extent, and you're not going to use it in that way. So that was I love microphones, and I've never made a video on microphones, but
do you have a lot?
I have got a lot, but mostly got German microphones. I don't have like this is like I've got Shure microphones, which I also like, and else it's all German microphones, mostly East German, because they're amazing and they're much cheaper than Neumann microphones, and they're more like the vintage stuff is more neutral. So they like when you're recording like to digital, you know, you want a microphone that's very unhyped, because the higher frequencies tend to go very harsh.
Yeah.
And when Neumann developed like their whole range of mics that you buy now, it was in the 80s when everybody's still recording to tape. So they did a little bump in the highs, you know?
Because it was going to cut off lowered by the tape.
When you record to tape, you really want high frequency bump, because if you boost it after the fact, you're gonna get introduced more noise. And regarding to that, thank you, Tony is your pal.
I love the reverb thing.
Yeah, that's by the way, that's a quad reverb. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah, that's the one like reverb everybody should have. Buy one. It's
I used to have one, but I think I sold it.
Yeah, Octava mics is one of the dead insects. Yeah, Octava mics, is what I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't gotten my German Gefell mics. They're really like level up from the Octava mics, and they're my workhorses. Basically, any like piano recording you can hear or percussion recording on anything that I do, that's with those Gefell mics. And while we were at mics, if there's one microphone that I can say that's a tip that works really well. That's the Thomann own brand mic, the RB500. Those are giant, big ribbon mics.
Is it
And
good?
you need a good preamp, but then it sounds amazing because it feels like no high end, but really deep lows. And it can turn like something. I had two of those for the piano that I had before that one, which was a really like clanky beer hall piano, like drink some beer and make some music. This is what I do. So that was the piano basically that I had, and I wanted an intimate sound and had this big beer hall piano that would be like, oh, auf der Heide steht ein Röschen, and I didn't want that sound. So I tried all the things. I tried felt, same as Niels Fram did, and I found these ribbon mics, and they used two of those in the stereo like configuration. Had a giant stand for those because they're heavy, and that really worked because they're really nice transients. They kill all the high end, but they're really deep, really good mics.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Did you use it in one album, in a specific album?
I have to
Or
think.
is it for the work that you do on theater?
The Yo piano, or the stuff, those mics, I sold them all because now I've got like a better piano. If you can change the source, you don't need like, now I need like precision, because this piano that I have now is a 1920s Bechstein. It just sounds amazing, and I want to capture that precision.
What mics are you using on that one then?
The Gefels, the East German ones.
Okay.
They were good. Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull one more, and I think then I'm done for today almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be the last one. This one, right?
Yeah. At GX3D, thank you for the DK50. Okay, I'm gonna make a mic video. Oh, that's wrong. Andreas Tengblad, thank you.
That's Swedish Corona for you. So
yeah, after DKK is Danish, right?
It's Danish. Yeah.
Awesome. I love Denmark. It's beautiful.
Scandinavia representing here.
Yeah,
You should come. You should come play. When the band lifts.
Definitely. When the band lifts, I'm going to be all over the world again. I'm so missing that. That's when I'm editing all these videos where I traveled. It's just hard. Yeah. Then the thing, basically a microphone that will boost your high end is better when you record to tape, because then you won't need to boost the high end afterwards when you will introduce the extra noise that the tape makes. So I want to come to Norway. Yes, it was amazing.
We should arrange like a tour for the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, definitely.
Would be nice.
Can you imagine all the musicians unleashed after this shutdown?
Oh, it's gonna be
everybody's gonna be like, we need to tour. Yeah. Jason, Anthony, have any of you used the blooper pedal?
Oh, that's a good question.
I have it over there, and I'm gonna make a video on that. And exactly, what I've set up now, I've got this amazing brilliant. Oh, I've got other mics. I've got the Brilliant Kia 224 sound level meter, which I got for $80. The one that I have there, which is amazing. It's a crazy mic, and I'm running it directly into the blooper because it's also a mic preamp. The whole thing, not the blooper, but the 224.
Okay.
So I can run it directly. We just need a converter cable. And thanks to Ben, who was here in the chat earlier, I found the correct cables to use, because you don't even need to DIY them, which would be easy, of course, but you can just get the Voodoo Lab pedal power cable, which is a DC plug to like regular inch, and then you can just use the sound level meter with anything. You can use that amazing microphone and plug it into a blooper, and that's what I'm gonna do next week a whole lot. I almost feel like recording just a piano blooper tape album and looping all kinds. I want to get lost in there. I've set it all up in that corner, and it's because the reason I got so inspired like when Cuckoo set up the blooper for our session that we did together, and it worked so well. And so I thought this could be a perfect setup. And now that I've got One thing that that sound level meters, it has that filter, like the chocolate one that I demoed earlier. So I can just like filter, and I can have like different ranges of the piano at different filter settings of the piano into the blooper. So I can stack an incredible loop.
So I have an insider's question for you, because I know that you checked the blooper before anybody else did.
Yes.
How do you? Because I remember they were going around showcasing it to see what people think, and you got to check a version of it before it was what it is now. But how do you like the differences?
I haven't really gotten deep into it, but one thing that I really loved about Blooper was the way it crashed. I loved the way that it would crash. It crashed all the time, but it would crash like with the last sound stuck in the buffer. Like, it would like stretch them out, and that is something that I miss now. Of course, I miss like that sound when the pedal crashed. And I think they had like the filter directly on tap, so it could always have this. It was one of the most beautiful digital filters that I've ever heard. It was just a knob on its own. And I was like, this is digital? Can't be true, because it really sounded like an analog filter. It sounded like something on the Syntrax here. It was
Chase know their stuff, right?
Yeah, of course. But this was really like, so the one thing that I think about always with prototypes are always wilder than the production versions. And since I tend to love wild stuff, I love prototypes and love to keep the prototypes. That when I'm involved in a thing, I like Form S, like when they gave me the wavetable navigator, and I love the way it was wild. And then at some point they said, "Oh, do you want to exchange your wavetable navigator for a production module?" I was like, "No, I keep the prototype. It might have bugs, might not work at some point, but I think prototypes always have a wider range, because they tend to like limit the range to make it basically to have less hassle in like people asking, why is this broken? This is broken. And I think the broken
and then they remove that part. I know what you mean.
And broken is where the beauty starts for me.
Yeah, but that's just you, right? It actually depends on the manufacturer, I would say. Some manufacturers, like I'm looking at Mungo module, the D0.
The Mungo modules, they were so crazy. I watched like one, like Navros, like Nav's Modular Lab. He's a friend of mine, and he played a show with that delay. And he played it in a small cellar with a quadraphonic sound system. And he managed to make it into feedback so loud that everybody's like,
yeah. That thing is crazy.
Yeah, and he did it once, and they did it the second time, and then nobody could listen to his set anymore. And that's why he's now always using a compressor, because I told him, you'd have to use a compressor for situations like that, where you just mess up playing when you're playing experimental modules. And
I wouldn't say it's an experimental module. I think it has some weird quirks in some way, but the range is just absolutely, I don't know. For me, in my head, Mungo goes on the exact opposite direction from Mutable Instruments. Like they have their DSP is quite powerful, but Mutable Instruments goes for all those island spots where the sound sounds
yeah, Mungo has like spots on Mungo. It's hard to find.
Yeah, whereas Mungo goes like, this is the range. It goes from zero.
You make your own.
Yeah. Find your own spot.
I respect that. There was one question. A floppy disk. How much do you guys value good preamps like SSL or Neve? Do you think it's something one should acquire early, or is it a late game thing to acquire? One thing, like every time I'm over there in the other corner behind in front of the test equipment, my voice runs through a Neve preamp. And I'm using a tube microphone and a Neve preamp, like a clone, Brent Everall, which is probably better than most of the new Neve. So it's really good. And I love the sound that it does. It makes my voice bigger. But now I've got this new board, which I want to make a video about. Like, it's an old Ramza desk, and it also sounds really good, I feel. It just has more hiss to it, which is not so good. Good preamps, they change a lot, and they change like synthesizers also a lot. I mean, somewhere I made like a test where I ran like the modular through like API 500 series modules, and there was a marked difference even like just with the I signals, just straight up. It sounded more like a record. Like you lose some sound, you lose sound basically, but you win sound. You win something like, this sounds done, this sounds alive, this is ready. And you can get a similar effect by just DIYing like some iron on a box, like get like a nice Carnhill transformer, or like you've got those, yeah,
They're
Konstantine.
right here.
That's like what you do if you like for synthesizers. This is what you need. It's basically just a transformer wired to like inputs and outputs. So, and that with something that will add the 20 decibels of gain that you lose will work perfectly. It will make the sound of your synthesizer better. But if you're talking about mics, like with dynamic mics, it makes a huge difference. With condenser mics, the difference disappears. So you can make, with a good preamp, can make SM57 or Shure SM7B sound so good. A bad preamp can make it sound like flop, 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 and the voice just drops, and or the instrument, it just falls on the floor. It just falls flat. René, on the wrong. René, thank you. Thoughts on the SH55? What's the SH55?
That's a good question. Googling it.
There is no leather on the mixer. I was mistaken.
Okay. Maybe it's the microphone.
Which one is that?
Sure SH55 Series 2.
Is that a new one?
No idea. I'm not versed in microphones at all.
I have to. Sorry, guys. I have to research. Shure SH55 Deluxe. Okay. Oh, nah. Meh. This is like a performance mic. This is all looks. And I know, like, if you've got the studio that I worked at, like the company that I worked for that sold studio equipment, they did stuff like put like Neumann capsules into that body for like the big German singers that wanted to use this microphone.
So it's supposedly, they say, okay, it's the classic Elvis mic. It's interesting. It's not just for looks. They reissued it. Yeah, well, I guess until you use it, you can't have an opinion, right?
Yeah, I would like the old one. I knew the mark. Like, this has been around forever. Did they reissue it just now? Was it like a Mark 1? Because I know this mic forever, so I was never really interested in that.
There's a Mark 2, Series 2. It says
maybe this year's 1. It's not something that I like, but you can probably, with a good preamp, this will probably sound decent. I think all Shure microphones generally sound decent, and it's what I have on my GH5 is like a Shure Landshopper, which I much prefer, for example, to the Rode. Rode? Do you say Rode or do you say Rode? Who says Rode? Who says Rode? We'll find out. Any Australians in here? Because it's an Australian company. Australians, do you say Rode or do you say Rode microphones? Let me know. But I prefer the sound of the Shure microphone, like the Landshopper, much to the Rode, because there's one thing that you can always do with any Shure mic, and that's EQ it. And then you can EQ it to taste. Rode. Everybody says Rode? Okay, yeah. Rode.
I've never heard anyone say Rody, but rude. Nice one, Jason.
Jason wins. Rude. Okay, the rude mic. Yeah, it is kind of.
It's a rude mic.
Yeah, they are rude because they've got this extended high-end response, which can be like it's hard to EQ those mics. Yeah. Interesting. Rot. Right. Yeah, very good. Frank Peterson. Thank you, DK100. What microphones they used? Oh, BBC Sci-Fi radio shows. You're gonna get Coles microphones a lot. Coles ribbon microphones. Oh, Gorgeous microphones. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I heard them in front of a drum kit. Gorgeous. I was fortunate enough, like, when my band recorded like our first album after a lot of EPs, we went with a, like, at that time, big time producer, and he had like all the mics, so I could hear, like, the drum kit was mic'd with 16 mics, and it was all the classics. And we did also stuff like, because it recorded with the krautrock band Faust before, so he did stuff like put like Brilliant Care microphones into Sprite bottles, or like put microphones into like big tanks, like vats, like where you put like oil in and put microphones next to the drum kit. Everything sounded gorgeous, and but the drums were so big there was no room for any other instrument. So it was like, okay, mute, put it in, mute, put it in. Really interesting. Microphones.
Yeah. It's a whole. What was it? I think it was Brian Eno, right? Sorry?
What?
Brian Eno. I think he said that you were checking. Like, I would understand. I would, if I wanted to check someone's studio, I would. What was it? What was the quote? I judge someone by their microphone collection. Something to that extent.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm very classic. MD421, MD442, MD441, MD21, all Sennheiser. Sorry. And one like Studio Project's a Chinese tube mic. So
I don't have many. I think I have like an SM57 somewhere, classic microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, one that you go to war with. And that's about it. And some old microphones from my grandfather that I've never checked.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I know I have a box somewhere.
Yeah. I'm loving that I'm getting so many ideas for videos here, by the way. Thank you all for like basically enforcing the that I like anyway.
There you go. Look among the computers.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. You want to jump in? Let me know and I'll send you the link.
Yeah, we should get Sam in.
I have it only on Instagram. Oh, that's a crazy thing. Do some interim music.
She did dance, but yeah, we should get Sam in there for like the last section. It would be fun. I'm curious to see how he went with his show. Yeah, he's up for it. There you go.
All right, I'm gonna send it to your email, probably. Have the computer one, okay? Beep beep. Oh, that's the wrong. I'm so bad at this. I should be better prepared. Invite, copy. Blah, blah,
Don't worry. This is the first show. We're supposed to make mistakes.
Good. Got it. Sam, it's on your way. Man, one thing that I just noticed, I'm almost halfway through the bottle.
But yeah, I never asked you the question while doing the live show. Is it the same bottle from your wedding?
No, it's it's a new one. I'm not gonna. I won't be able to hang on to a bottle of whiskey for 8 years, unless it's something really special.
We're almost at 2 hours, and I would say this is the time where the AKG starts paining my ears.
Really? This one still going strong. This one is still like no pain. It's amazing. I'm so happy with that. But that's like, I don't know.
Head audio. I need a pair of headphones.
Yeah. If you're still Freddy's probably sleeping already.
Yeah, they look great.
Look who've got here at stream. Hello.
Hey Sam.
How you doing?
Fine, man.
How's it going, Konstantine? How's it going home back?
You're going fine.
Hey Sam, welcome.
How you doing?
Fine, man.
How's it going, Konstantine? How's it going?
Can you shut down your YouTube?
I just realised I've got YouTube on. There we go. That's better. Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Easy.
So what are you guys talking about? What's been going on? Sorry, I missed the start.
Yeah.
How was your show?
Yeah, it was fine. It was good. Minimal things went wrong, so cannot complain. How's the talks been?
Yeah, it's been good.
Pretty good. I think like I went through like half a bottle of like scotch already.
Blimey!
Yeah.
Fire!
Yeah, well, we're having a lot of fun here right now. It's I don't know. Basically, for me, this is and probably also for Konstantin, this is an excuse to just like talk about synthesizers and drink whiskey for a long.
Yeah.
But we're talking mostly about microphones.
And microphones, yeah, that's where I bumped in. Like you have AK-57 and Granddad's mic, right?
AK-57. That's a gun.
Oh yeah. SM-57.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, I told you what. Oh no, I took it to the other building. I got this. Yeah, like old ones that you haven't even tried. Like you don't even know what they're doing.
Oh, and because like one thing that I really love about microphones is that every country has its own history, like how they build microphones. So it's like you can like go through a history lesson with microphones. And Britain has its lovely, like I was just talking about Cole's microphones. We're talking about DCC Radiosonic Workshop, and that's stuff that never came here because everybody had like Sennheiser and Neumann.
And so you don't get Coles over there? You don't get them?
No, it's just like something that people discover like in the 2000s, and so everybody bought like the 4038s, like and put them in front of the drum kit, you know, like in this setup. Yeah, so but that's something that wasn't really used.
That's weird. It's funny actually you talk about this because a week ago I for £20 you can buy them £20. They're new old stock. They're already in the box. One sec. I've just got to get the ladder.
That's why you get Sam on the show.
Just getting the ladder. Just going up here.
You're going up. You're going to the up top. Okay.
This. It was £20 on eBay. I opened it once. It hasn't been opened since. There's a date on here. It wasn't open since like the 50s.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh. I don't know whether. And it's
box
even
opening.
Like you talk about like different countries have different ones. This is new old stock from the British Army. World War II.
Oh, sweet.
That's a Bakelite case.
Yeah, Bakelite as well. You could get these for £20. I can't remember the name of it. Like, but they buy it now. Like they have hundreds of them.
Awesome.
And now the price is going up just because you mentioned it on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe so. But I haven't done anything with it yet. But it smells so good.
Yeah. I remember I remember watching LCD Sound System and touring opening for them, and James used like this one like mic you usually put in front of a guitar amp. Like it's also I think it's a like the one that's shaped like this and golden on one side. To get that like mid-rangey sound, and these looks like they can do like that mid-range crush really well. Because those like things like really frequency limited already. They're like bandpass filters in themselves.
Well, is it like that Brawl and Cure one that you have? What's that one sound like? How is that? That one's quite.
You mean the one on the vacuum tube one, on the 2.2, but not the. No. The sound level meter sounds gorgeous. The sound level meter sounds like a Neumann micro.
That's cool.
No, I was thinking more like the 2603. Yeah, 2603 mics.
So it came with, in the modern times they've got the those moisture reducing little packets.
Yeah,
it's actually one from the 40s.
Oh god, that's an old one.
Where does it say February? Oh no, 1960. So this was put in when it was packaged up. In the warehouse afterwards.
Oh, nice.
It's got like disinfectant blobs in it. That's mad.
You should keep it.
Do not use a second time without reactivation.
What's reactivation?
How do you reactivate that? You probably put it like in a. Who knows?
You hit it on your face.
You hit it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put this all back in there because I don't want to.
Of course. There's one company that I'm really curious about because they do beautiful test equipment. I actually got a vacuum tube unit from them that I can't get.
Are you going to say the brand? Are you going to ruin it for yourself?
I don't know.
Go on.
This is the stream. That's like you've got lots of chances to check it out. But you know DAWE, DAWE,
What?
like a
How
British
old are you?
company. They're 50s to 70s, and there's nothing about them online, and I don't even know if they're any good. But I
What?
bought them new old stock. I bought like a filter
Yeah.
and with a massive big wheel vacuum tube, but it's set only for battery power. And I brought it to Coma Electronic to like put some normal power in, and I
Yeah.
hope it's going to be like the Rode and Schwarz UBM, like the British UBM Rode and Schwarz. That would be awesome, but I don't.
How big is it?
wonder- It's like this. Also, like this vacuum tube full, but it's not that big and heavy. But
I'm trying to
DAWE.
Yeah, I think I have a meter of it somewhere. I'm trying to find it.
Yes, I know. You have the meter. You have like something that they bring here, but from the WA. You saw it on Instagram, I think.
Do you know? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have it. I remember.
I don't know where it is. Like that was a 99p bid. Nobody bidded on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in super
Imagine.
unknown company.
This one. That's what I was trying to find.
That looks beautiful.
So the story with this one is I went to see my grandma, and there was a bingo hall that closed down, and they sold me this for £5. It was the bingo hall microphone.
Okay.
Ooh,
How cool is that?
Nice.
Parmeco.
Pimpameco.
Yeah, do you know Parmeco?
Lovely. This just looks super cool.
it's probably tuned to the word bingo.
Bingo. Parmeco. You can't even see it. So what else has anybody got any stuff? How's the postage working nowadays?
That's a good question.
You mean like sending to UK and back?
No, I mean just eBay in general in the world, like finding bargains.
I have to say, I've been doing lots of stuff locally, basically. So I bought my new mixing board, like from 10 minutes above the road, across the road. And
you picked that one up, right?
Yeah, I picked it up, and I mean, like UK now goes through taxes, so it goes through customs. Like when I buy stuff from UK
already, I thought that would happen like a year later.
It takes like forever. It takes longer, and they say it's held for customs. Was like last time. Yeah, that's really weird. It's super rubbish, but yeah. So right now I'm trying to. Everything takes longer, basically, generally, but still, like, and if you want to find stuff right now, I think eBay is pretty much dead now for test equipment.
Why?
Why?
It's good. It's good though.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, I mean, I don't know. There are still bargains to be had. I mean,
yeah, there are. You just have to know what to look out for. Yeah. I just got this week. Like this is like the last like buy before the whole like lockdown happens. I got this thing. Yeah. Take the camera. Yeah, I got this one.
Ooh, what's that?
That's Radiometer Copenhagen, and it's a distortion analyzer. And it's actually like a super fantastic high pass and low pass filter with an amazing drive. So it takes like, and I got it for like $40 locally. Yeah, it just sounds crazy. So this is kind of stuff, but nobody bid on it. It was like on classifieds for ages, and it's actually from a guy who I bought most of my brilliant care of. But it's just
your local dealer.
Yeah, this is like the sound of it. It's just like makes signals super deep. So let me take this off. Let's just put this also from the other arm, take it on here. It's super dark and heavy, so that's why I love it. So if we're talking about like how filters sound like whiskey, this is Lafroig.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, this is Lafroig, but not like the 10-year-old. This is like an older age Lafroig where they actually taste good. Sam, you want to hear again with headphones?
Oh, well, I just, the funny story is I bought one of the new Macs, and it's the speak. Oh, I can't talk about computers. The speakers are broken already. They like wriggle. So yeah, play again, please.
Did you plug testing equipment on the Mac?
Maybe, I don't know. They just broke. Ah, it's a good with the
Yeah, this one is really fun because what I discovered is that basically the one thing that you can't adjust the filter much, but it's perfect on just like once sub bus on the mixer to just add like this really cinematic boost to anything. Like
That's cool. That's nice. I just saw a comment. Where was it? About local universities refusing to sell anything. Like that's another thing to do. But Chris, you need to look in their skips. That is the secret. They chuck out everything.
Yeah, it's because of these two guys actually that you can't get anything from universities. It's your fault.
Because
now everyone knows about test equipment stuff.
No, but to be honest, I tell you, this is not a lie either. Exactly a week ago, what's that fancy mixer company? There's a fancy good mixers. Name some mixer companies that are modern.
AMAC, Neve, API, Allen and Heath.
Allen and Heath.
Yeah.
I walked past there. I was near their factory. I walked past it, pure chance. I was like, I'm gonna go and look in the skip. Found an oscilloscope. I literally got. I don't know whether it's working yet. It's probably not. But I went to the reception and I asked on the phone if I could take the oscilloscope, and they said yes. So go to the skips. Go to the skips.
Yeah, that's how people like. That's when German broadcast kicked out all their cool microphones and all their stuff because they're not allowed to resell, basically, because it's like a state company, and if they were to resell it, they would have to provide like warranty and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where people got all their nice Studer desks, all the microphones, all their stuff. It's crazy because it was just thrown in a bin.
I wonder if there's going to be a time where we start throwing the Eurorack stuff in the bin 20 years from now.
10 days from now.
10 days from now.
It might all go wrong. That would be mad, wouldn't it? Oh. I always think about that because you've got all these modern things. Things were modern at one point. Like when things become obsolete, sometimes people decide to. There's always like a curve where it just gets completely undesirable.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then goes back up again.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, Eurorack has already happened, right?
Eurorack has already happened?
Yeah, because there's stuff like the quote-unquote first-generation modules that nobody's going to buy stuff now. Everyone wants the fancy new things.
Yeah, that's a problem with the whole industry, basically. Like, I think Chris of All You Damage talked about that you constantly have to keep up making new stuff because nobody's buying like the module that's from half a year ago. So that's the market for that right now.
Yeah, which is a good opportunity because you can just buy the old stuff for cheap if you're just getting it.
And I have to say, as a thrifty musician, I've always tried to buy cheap stuff. That's also why I got into test equipment, because it was cheap. Yeah. I've always tried to get the cheapest stuff. I mean, when I bought my first Seat Lombard instrument, that was a year, like, expense. That was something that I bought, and that was like my one big expense for the whole year. And I wouldn't buy anything other that big. I would just buy cables, pedals, or anything smaller, but nothing that big. So I've been thrifty with buying gear for ages now, like for basically 25 years. And that kind of sticks to me. So That's why I love discovering cheap stuff like this, and that's one edge that maybe people like. Oh, also you, Sam. I think you're also very thrifty in that regard.
I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah.
And with
I like-
DIY stuff.
Yeah, DIY as well, but everything I have set a limit. I'm pretty strict with my limits, so I just kind of like look for things that are spelt wrong on the internet usually.
Yeah. So that
You spend way too much time.
I've spent so much time looking for wrongly spelled Brilliant Care or wrongly spelled like I got my first GFL mic, like which I love. I got it for like a third of the price because someone spelled microphone wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a little bit that I don't think I've ever been in like, you know, when I think if there was some time, like imagine there was a Roland Jupiter, but it was spelt like Roland Poopiter from poo, and it's like, and it went for 99p. I don't know. I'd probably pay them a middle price.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely would. I feel a bit, because you'd have to go and pick it up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. But still, I mean, like, there's so much. I mean, being thrifty in this, that's one. But the advantage I'm talking about is like we spent a long time like hunting for this stuff, and we've got all day hunting for this stuff. Like when I started with Testicum, this became like a job. Like this became a job for me to look for that stuff and try to find out stuff that works. You know, and if you're not like me that can actually make it into a job, it's like an unfair advantage that I already have in getting the stuff.
Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing as well, is there's not much around.
Definitely not.
You mean from the test equipment?
Yeah, for the test equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, not much around that's for sale, if you see what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, but do you think the prices have gone up since you guys have started mentioning these?
People are listing like Brilliant Care filters under audio equipment now.
Oh, okay.
Under pro audio equipment. So, yeah, we might have to do something to do with that.
I mean, to be honest, every single one of mine has got a problem with it. Like they're all. I set the limit of no more than. Well, I think the most I spent was like £100 on one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Like with the Brilliant Care stuff, definitely. The one thing that I bought like really expensive was the UBM, but that was serviced by another YouTuber. And, yeah, he's like pristine. Like he like took it apart. He had a video on that. Like I didn't even know that, and that he was a YouTuber, and his channel like where he breaks down stuff and like take on some stuff. He had a word generator, like an HP one, and which is the best thing that you want.
Yeah, what you do with it as well.
Yeah. And he just broke it down for the gold and stuff, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Because I remember it's one of the things that you have, right?
Yeah, but then the fun thing, when I went to Willem II and they had 3 of those, I was like, oh, I didn't discover that this is cool. They already knew. Still, like, if I want like 3 of those word generators too, because they're so gorgeous. But every time there's anyone now, any one of those now, they go like for 350, 400. And I bought mine for 60, 69 plus shipping. So it was like 110.
It's a tough situation because obviously, Heimbach, in order to justify the expense, you've got to talk about it on the internet. So if you're talking about it on the internet, you're also making other people want it too. Yeah. And then you can't get more to justify talking about.
Yeah, we are running and trying to catch up.
What was it? What was the small? I forget, the Vermona EQ.
The Vermona equalizer, yeah.
That's right. That sounds really good. And I remember Heimbach telling me, "Look, buy one now because I'm going to make a video about that."
Oh, cheeky. Yeah. Which one's the Vermona EQ? Is that the one with the 20 band, the 10 band thing?
It's really good. 2 times.
Really good.
There's a really good video by Carlson's Lab on it. Have you seen Carlson's Lab?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh,
is it the Canadian channel?
I
saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I saw that. I saw his channel. I didn't know he did the Vermona video.
Yeah, he repaired it. There was a MOSFET broken inside. It was pretty cool. He opened it up and had a chat with his lovely calming voice.
Yeah. No.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over there. It's such a lovely unit. What? You can't drink because you have to drive, probably, right?
He was drinking beer.
What?
He was drinking beer.
How do you
Right.
know? Did you like skip through his chat while we were his stream
no.
while we were watching?
I've had
beer.
4 beers. I'm gonna have to walk home. A bike. I left my bike, so yeah. It's a
Oh, lovely. Oh
lovely.
man, one thing that I'm really missing about the whole situation, like we had so many things planned, right?
Yes.
It's like three events basically. Like it was like TSR, and it was like the Patreon event that was supposed to happen.
Super booth.
Yeah, and
What's the
Super Bowl. There would have been
That's a bummer.
there would have been 3 events, like, and we would have collaborated. Like, I don't know. There was Patreon. We're talking about like getting Cuckoo and Sam and me into a spot and just doing stuff together, like open studio, laboratory. I don't know. We'd have just make something fun.
Yeah.
And that's, of all the things, that's the one thing that really bums me out, because I've played with both of you now, and I think that would have been so amazing. Would have been so amazing.
It's a right bummer, isn't it? It's that would have been good because people, from what I understood, like people come in and just make fun things, and people play with the stuff as well if they wanted to, like your test equipment totem poles.
Yeah, you wanted to drive over with whatever hell you would bring.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, well, it's
and Cuckoo on the piano, that would have been like such a dream.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that's like gotten lost in the past, like no. So, but that's why it's doubly nice that we're like meeting like on this platform also.
Yeah. Funny story, actually. Talking about test equipment, I've completely forgotten. I've just remembered now. I'm picking up test equipment tomorrow.
Cool.
I'm picking it up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got to go.
Out.
Sorry,
you're going out.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not. Well, basically, like we had this in plan, and it's not self-isolation yet in England. So we've made. I'm going to post the money through the letterbox, and then I go into their garage and take the stuff and put it in my van.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
it's good though. It's like 1, 2, 4 Brawl and Cures. Managed to find from a kind fellow called Mick.
Awesome. That's very good. That's very good.
On the hunt.
By the way, Sam, did you ever like, because I was demoing like the little 1613 filter, you know, the one we exchanged?
Yes.
I was demoing that today, and I thought I was talking about how it sounds like chocolate or like fudge, and I was thinking like, did you ever like manage to find a way to like mod it like the same way you did the 2113?
It's on my to-do list.
Okay.
I know. I'm really sorry. It's been like
no. Don't be sorry. It's just like I know how it is with to-do lists.
I've got to get it. I've really got to do it because basically, like, they're just passive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it'll be really simple, and I
have 5 coils in there, 5 coils in there, and the rest is divided by like resistors or something. So
it's yeah, of course. We took it apart in Tom and Synth Reactor, right? It was good. They're so heavy.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and they're so lovely.
My baby. Well, the Heimbach's babies. You'll get them back, I promise.
Yeah, no worries. It's one is yours. The other one.
Yeah, I've just got to make this one work. I've got to do it for you. I promise I will.
But the lovely thing is about these is like they really do sound great. I put them on the aux of a mixer, and you know that when you put them back on a channel, you can use the aux to make make it sharper, make the resonance sharper.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're feedbacking it, and that sounds so good. Sounds so good. You're gonna love it.
I wonder if there's a way of smoothly moving between the different channels instead of crossfading between the actual separate bits.
Yeah.
I think there is, but
now
it's worth a fiddle.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like if it's like becomes like a little box of angels, like a portable box of angels, imagine that. You know, like when you can reach each frequency at the same time, like you did with the 2113, that would be like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be.
Did somebody?
Sorry, Aaron Welsh. Is it actually isolation in England? I haven't looked at the news yet today. Is it isolation where you guys are, Heimbach and Konstantine?
Not in Berlin. It's coming.
Not necessarily, no. There has been no official word yet. Denmark, which is right next to us, just closed. They've closed their borders, closed the school, closed everything. But Sweden, the southern part where I'm at, it's still. I think they've closed some schools, but they won't continue with complete isolation. But people are just staying in.
Okay, yeah.
Same here. Like the only people that I see on the street now are drunks, like the hardcore drunks, like that are sipping like beer from like Tetra Pak, wine from Tetra Paks, and they're all gathered. But everybody is like in pairs or like single. Everybody's walking like with distance.
Yeah.
And it's, I thought it was pretty, like, at least for Neukölln, in Berlin, it was very disciplined, which is crazy. So yeah, Merkel's speech did a lot, I feel, here, and I hope we can get around the whole like lockdown, like shut down completely. That would be like, just politically, I think that would be like a nightmare feeling in Germany. It feels like
probably, but I think it's justified, right? They have it. They're almost like they're almost doing it in Greece, not yet, but it's halfway there, and I think it's justified. I think people should stop complaining about not getting out and just bear with it. It's for everyone's benefit. So.
Absolutely, and just go out with, I don't know, just go out and be alone. That's the thing. Everybody's to go out and be alone.
In England, nobody's listening to it. It's quite crazy. Like the pubs are still full.
What?
Yeah. Like
they've been closed. Pubs have been closed forever now.
Pubs have been closed since 7 o'clock tonight. They closed at 7. Apparently, somebody at 6 o'clock, after Boris Johnson said that the pubs are closing, called up his mate. Was like, "Oh, you better get down quickly for one because they're closing at 7." Like they're full. There's a pub just about 100 meters away, full. It's
crazy. That's not happening here. Absolutely not happening here. Like in our area, like I walked. The one thing that I like, I go like to a kiosk when I want a beer. I went to like a Späti and got a beer, and there was no one there, and all the bars were closed. And was like, got the beer, got home, washed my hands, washed the beer, and then I don't know, it's crazy. The one thing is, I wonder like how this will be like when we go back to normal. Will everybody like shake hands? Will people shake hands again?
They're going to do that.
Is that going to be like the thing?
Yeah,
for a while.
I mean, like, remember, like, one thing we never had, like what's it called, like tempos, like the brand name, like paper handkerchiefs,
tissues,
exactly. Oh. Sorry, I was looking for a word. Tissues.
Right.
And they came about during the time of the First World War, like with the Spanish flu. Before, everybody would just lose the.
Yeah.
And then they started using like paper, and they started using like this also the other stuff that you wash, but that would become out of fashion quickly due to the Spanish flu. So we got paper tissues due to the Spanish flu, which was 1918, and that's a big change because everybody else was on the floor.
Yeah.
We'll find a new world after this, I think.
There will be a difference.
Yeah.
Do you reckon more people will be working from home even afterwards? That I've found out they don't really have to be at work.
I hope so, that many people can work from home. We can skip the whole illusion that work is only effective if you're stuck like in an office.
It kind of helps though. Being a person that actually works from an office but has the option to work from home, I prefer to work at an office. Yeah, because you can socialize, you can talk to your colleagues and stuff. I lose 1.5 hours to 2 hours going back and forth. A bit less, yeah, but still, it's worth it.
Okay.
But are you more productive? Because I find I procrastinate less when there's people around.
It depends. It depends.
It definitely depends.
It depends. Sometimes it's better when you're at the office. Sometimes it just is a pain in the butt, and I'd rather stay home and just focus on one thing. But working on a computer that has access to the internet is not helpful.
Yeah. Hence the name.
Yeah, look, computer.
Yeah.
but the funny thing is, like, when like in regards to Sam, because you did the TED talk about like procrastination, and it's funny how you're like hyper productive in your procrastination.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah, strategic procrastination. You got.
Yeah.
You could trick that thing up there into thinking it's getting what it wants.
Yeah.
But it's mad, isn't it? Like, yeah, like being creative is very difficult when you don't want to be creative.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
True.
I was also talking about like how I'm stuck like in this weird, like, I'm kind of depressed, really, like from the whole situation, and like basically the theater plays that get canceled, shows that get canceled, and I love playing live, and that now that that's taken away from me, I feel really sad about that. And the way I react is like I'm trying to do like to be hyperactive and do a lot of things. So I did isolation loops, which was just a way for me to break free. I did this sound pack, and now this stuff, this stream is like a way to connect with friends, with my friend Konstantine, and you're here, and this is and it's also a new thing. And then I'm also like letting so much stuff I'm not doing other stuff. Like I've got a suitcase from my theater play that's in the kitchen that my wife has been telling me like for 3 days to like, can you just put that away? And I'm not able to. It's just still there. It's just this kind of mixture of being like hyper wanting to do stuff, but also being like, oh, this is so depressing. It's a strange feeling for me right now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very
meditate.
Meditate. That's a good one. The anxiety is the worst for me. It's very tiring.
Yeah. Don't let your brain get the best of you. I like how Sam put it. I've been meditating for the past, I don't know, for a few months, and it helps a lot.
Really?
Yeah. It helps a lot. It's exactly what you said, Sam. It's like you shouldn't leave the noggin do whatever it wants.
Yeah. Okay. So you put it in order with a bit of what does the meditate? What's the purpose of the meditation?
Well, the meditation kind of helps you. I'm using like an app called what was it?
There's an app.
Yeah, there's tons. Like, duh. Yeah, no, but this is a good one, and it's called Headspace.
Headspace.
Yeah, well, because I like the voice of the guy that helps with the meditation. Which is important. British accent, that helps.
Is it? But
yeah.
He probably has SM7B.
Yeah, and that's how you get back to the microphone discussion.
Yeah. Are you in an SM7B as well? Oh, I just realised I could have done that. The SM7B. Hey, baby, do you want to dance?
There you go.
SM7B.
They don't suit everybody.
Yes.
No, it's not for German voices.
Ah.
That's what Heimas was saying.
Yeah. I was talking about like somebody said it's racist microphones in the chat, but it's not racist. It's like how to capture the full range of the language. And Germany is very percussive, and this mic like smoothest transients.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want with German percussive music, as we sing it in our homes. We like to sing the percussive music.
Yeah. Right. With test equipment in the background.
Test equipment is always droning, and the test equipment and the harmonium.
How many toy pianos do you have now? Oh,
quite a lot.
What was that?
I've got a synthesizer under here. I could like live score everything that we're talking.
You should have been playing, just jamming underneath.
Got toy pianos sitting over there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's more than that.
Oh,
Okay, people should guess.
More than that.
You should give them a minute to guess how many toy pianos you have.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay.
but you could build up to it with a pre-chorus.
Yeah, go for it.
Pre-chorus. Okay. No, pull this out. Okay, so pre-chorus goes here.
19.
Everybody guess how many toy pianos are behind me right now.
Where is it? Smaragda is saying
Everybody
7.
guess how many toy pianos are behind me right now. You got 1 minute to do so.
69, I like.
Only 1 minute to do so.
I would say I can. Yeah, okay. It's more than 4. I know that for sure.
Well, let's build up to the chorus with the answer.
Damn.
I'm gonna go and have a count.
You don't even know the number?
No, of course not.
Oh, is it that many? Jeez. We've got to figure out how many do you reckon, Konstantine?
I think it's. I know it's more than 4 because I remember he has them stuck. I would say 5.
5.
9 over 9,000.
Ah,
That's what. Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'd go with 6 as well, Alpha
Do you-
Stair.
Do you have toy? How many was it? Do you have toy pianos, Sam?
Oh, no, I haven't got any. They're always sold out on eBay. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Okay.
I blame before you say the number. I blame Heimbach for 3 things: tape, toy pianos becoming popular, and marimbas.
Oh,
It's like it's all him.
all gone.
So I counted. What's the most popular guess?
Oh,
Right?
What's you? No, it's not. It's not Sophia. But okay, so behind me are 9,
oh,
9. Oh God.
but the kids have got 4,
so,
so
that's
it's
what?
13, and 2 are at theaters.
What, 15?
15, yes, 15 toy pianos.
That's probably the worst hair I've seen you have online.
I shouldn't.
That's
It's funny. Headphones.
15 toy pianos.
Yes.
15.
Can you play them all at the same time, Heimbach?
Oh no, not
CV
yet.
controllable toy pianos. That's a good idea. Sam can build something for you there.
One of my earliest videos on the channel.
Who is that? Who is that guy? I mean, it might be. It could be. Why am I putting a gender on this person? But like, who is that person? There's a TV and there's like a cartoon of a lady, and then there's like robots playing the piano. There's like a solenoids pushing on the keys. Have you seen that before?
No.
It's POW. I swear I saw it on POW TV.
Mhm.
You know POW, right?
Oh, is it like the Avatar?
Yes.
That's
On a
super
TV.
cool. I've seen that a bunch like on Instagram, but I haven't seen it on YouTube. It's like it's so cool. This is like this one guy who does like an avatar. She's singing to like solenoid control.
You said POW, Sam. Okay, yeah. Right. Mark, yeah, I don't know. Like, and he also does drums and stuff like that, right? And it's not always just a lady. There's always like it's an anime thing.
Anime,
like
yes,
it's-
An anime one.
yeah, and he also has a guy, and it's drums and it's super, very
cool.
advanced.
Anybody in the know what we're talking? Lars and Lucy? Ah, Martin. You might. Yeah, Martin. You don't know?
Legion 8, was that it?
I think Lars and Lucy. I don't know what's happening in the chat right now. Family Guy.
Yeah, it's
That's-
Lucy.
I've got no. The one thing that's happening right now is because
Lucy, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
Lars, Lucy, and Legion 8.
lost out of the chat. Look, mom, no toy piano.
Yeah, Lars, Lucy, of course. That's mental.
Yeah, Lucy was the name of the robot.
They look really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder who made that. I wonder where this person's from.
I think it's from like no. Isn't it from Netherlands, right?
Ruben Kieftenbelt.
Ruben Kieftenbelt.
And they're on toy pianos. That's some good stripboard work. He's a jazz saxophone player. Thank you, Martin.
Freddie, you're still in here. Awesome.
He's passing out.
Next time, at some point, we'll have a beer. We have that beer like in reality that we always wanted to have. The funny thing is, like Freddie from like the company that makes these headphones, like he actually mastered some of my music, and I didn't know that. Which, and we went to the same school, like same university, and studied musicology at the same place.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm gonna have to go. My girlfriend is. I told my girlfriend I'll be back by 10. I'm gonna be back. I've got to be back. So,
Sam,
Yeah.
awesome that you were here. I don't know, since we can't meet in real life, let's keep up something like this.
yeah. Konstantine, I'm back. Till next time. Let's do it again. We'll do it again. Invite. Oh yeah.
Online vote.
Yeah.
Nice.
F's in the chat.
See you later. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day for the rest of the time. Ciao, family.
Thank you.
Where is the thing?
It's funny because I have my wife on the chat as well. So
Smaragda was also there.
yeah, she's here. She said you have 7 toy pianos, but
But
you have 15 toy pianos.
yeah, I've started. I've done a few.
Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, Colin Benders was also here.
Oh, Colin's
Hey,
around.
Colin. Nice to hear from you. Let me know if you want to jump on the chat, and send me an email to if you want to jump in at Heinbach 10. Oh God, how do you say Heinbach, and then numbers 101 at Gmail, and then I'll send you the invite. Funny. This is awesome. I love this. This is like thank you, Konstantine, for like doing this with me.
Yeah,
This is awesome. This is something we've been dreaming of like for a long time, like since way before I had a YouTube channel.
Yeah, but you should tell people the quote about the Skype bar.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the worst bar because Konstantine and me, we've been drinking on Skype for a long time.
Yeah,
Because you know it is with friends. Once you find a really good one, you want to talk to them, but when you're divided, like, you would have to fly, and then there was Skype. It's the perfect solution to just hang out and just have a drink and have your own bar. And I remember like really like nights being separated from my family because I was working in Switzerland and I couldn't like go back to my kids for like 2 weeks because basically that made more sense financially to just go there for 2 weeks, work, and then go back. And I would be sitting there after the rehearsals. It was like 11 o'clock, and Konstantine and me, we just hang out.
Yeah, it's good to hang out. I mean, yeah, especially now these days, kind of makes sense. So chat.
Yeah, so if you have got friends that you are like basically that you're missing, just hang out on Skype, just hang out on WhatsApp chat, just hang out on anything. Just it's really important to keep those connections. And like it might be easier actually to just keep those connections now than anytime else, because at least for me as a family man, I know how hard it is and how many of how my friends have like basically suffered from me being like having like kids because I didn't have time for them. So this is a good time to reconnect like with friends you haven't spoken to or seen in a longer time, maybe.
No, it's good. It's good to have the online opportunity, have the option. It's a good bar. Internet, it's a good bar.
Definitely. So I'm gonna knock one last one back. And I think
said that before.
One last time. And I think I've got like we haven't talked about the Syntrax, which is something you were super interested in.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that one.
Okay, but I think like we should have like maybe like a okay. I'm gonna hit the right one. Thank you for the $10. That's really nice. Really much appreciated. And so Konstantine and me, we were really interested. Like, I just got a prototype of the Syntrax, basically. It's not a
Yes.
stable version, and it's a prototype which I love. So it's probably gonna be different from the version that you can buy. And I only had a few moments with it, but it's actually a really lovely synthesizer. And the thing is, with the whole thing about like the Synthi anyway, is that has this joystick, and that makes it utterly playable. And
Wait. Sorry to interrupt you, but I really have to answer that question. When your wife is asking about her whiskey,
oh God!
yes, darling, there's enough left.
Just for one tier.
But I'll buy you a new one, I promise.
Derek
That
Daughter
audio
is
is leaving,
it's a reality sanitizer. It is, because actually it brings people together. And I don't know, alcoholism is bad, but like, enjoy responsibly. And it's probably because there's so much care involved in trying to get whiskey for yourself to taste good.
Yeah.
Actually, we talked about that before, that it's such a learned experience that it's one step above simply boozing. So, you're welcome for that. But now we're gonna switch on to this
Let's close with some synth stuff. I'm very curious to hear the synth tracks.
Yeah,
it looks like an what was it? AKS thing, right?
Yeah, it does. But it's more, because the one thing, and I talked with Alessandro Cortini just a bit about that, and I showed him like, oh, this is something that was meant for you. He said, yeah, but I like the pins, and I would get mad with that matrix.
Yeah.
Because what Erica did is like, I mean, they generally don't see this as like they don't see this as like a clone, because it doesn't feel like it's, you can see like it's inspired by it. You can see like it's something like, but it's a very modern take on that. And what makes it a modern take is the patch matrix, which you can save. So you have all everything you've ever like. So it enables a much quicker way of patching, basically.
Yeah, of course. But you can save stuff. That's super important, especially if you're going to take that thing live, or even in the studio. Although I do love pins.
Yeah, pins are perfect.
Yeah,
and like, I agree when Alessandro says he loves the pins, and he didn't think this would drive him mad, but I love the patch matrix, and actually got a standalone, which I'm going to use for my test equipment. And
there you go.
I'm gonna. Oh yes. Cool. Patch matrices.
Yeah. And I've had this discussion a few times. Like, why would you do this? Why would you use this on a live case? But I just love the pins, and they're nice to play with on a live situation. No CV control, but still fun.
Yeah.
There's a thing. I mean, it's the same thing with the banana. I know I'm talking and I'm outside the camera, but who cares? But it's the same thing with the banana cables. It's different.
Oh, it's different, yeah. Banana cables are amazing. So now I'm gonna move the camera to this thing, and then we can talk about stuff, because basically one thing, I've had this only for a day, and my youngest daughter, Rosa, or she likes to be called Rose, every time I try to play it like on the kitchen desk, because this has lovely speakers like inbuilt, so I could just gonna jam it on it. She was like, I want in, and she hit my hand when I tried to play it. So let's just listen to it, and yeah, let's get going.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So there's one thing that I can say immediately. This thing is just so much fun to play.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. And this is still like people, this is like so like this is prototype 3. So this is the thing that they've been using to make demos with. This is the thing that they've been using to make demos with. This is not like the finished version. And I've played like a Putney, the original one, and I've played it at Willem II Studios, and this doesn't sound like it. This is different. This is way more modern. It's way more deep. It's not as like nasally like the AKS, but you've got all these variations in the wave shapes, and it's its own it's really its own thing. And you might have seen the patch matrix, and programming that is a breeze. It's so fun. You can just set everything. And one thing I'm really looking for is, as you said, Konstantine, is like switch dynamically like between different presets.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Be able to like, I feel like this is an instrument I can learn my whole life and become a good player of it. This is the vibe that this instrument gives me. This is not like you get synthesizers where you're like, okay, I can use this in some track, I can use this in something, but this is something that I want to learn and become a good player of.
What's the question for you? What's the back end like? What's the inputs and outputs and stuff like that? Does it have a MIDI input? Can I control it using other stuff?
MIDI, it has 2 CV, it has a gate, it has a microphone in, so you can use it to process voice. And I don't know if you heard it. Does chat, does this sound in stereo? Can you please confirm that you could hear stereo in here, or did you hear no stereo?
I'm not sure I got the stereo part.
Because like this has filters on the input and output. It's the tilt filters basically. So
those are lovely. I know there's just one tilt filter. I shouldn't name that because people are just going to go ahead and buy it. There's one in modular.
Okay.
Which I've been considering getting. Let me just. I think it's worth name dropping this one.
It was mono because that's a shame, because this thing is stereo and it's gloriously so. And it's so wide because you've got these filters on the output. So left and right have got like tilt shift filters on the output, which makes it possible to have like such a wide stereo field. And I think like what I learned from Stuart Lombard is that stereo is like in electronic music, this is like the acoustic body of an instrument.
Okay, yeah, I found the thing. No, it's called Marble. It's from River. Company called River, and it's stereo, and it's a tilt filter, which are also super useful for physical modeling stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because tilt filters are very natural in the sound, so
they're
it's super
very
useful.
natural. And this is something to have that on tap on the thing. Your mouse is super loud, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, sorry. It's because it's right next to the microphone I'm using, which is a condenser microphone. So I just need to move it. Sorry about that.
No. So this is and also has a spring reverb in it. So this is, I don't know. I'm gonna make a full video on this, and but I mean, it's bigger. Like it's really big. It's actually like it's really big. It's not small.
Yeah, and it looks well made.
Frank Peterson, 2,500 euros, quite expensive. Is it worth it? I would say yes.
Yeah,
I would. That's one of those things I would have saved up if I hadn't gotten this to make videos with. I would have saved up for this, really, because like, what's the alternative to get something like this? There's none, and it's an instrument in its own right, and this is informed by the classic instrument, but it's more. It's not. If Behringer are cloning this, it's gonna be probably a shit show, because there's something about instruments like this that breathe their own spirit, and Behringer has no spirit. Sorry to say that, but I really hate that company.
If you think about it, come on, it's like what, 2,500. Okay, so it's like 8 modules, 9 Eurorack modules. Not considering
if you're already in like modular land, everything is cheap. That's one thing.
Yeah, by comparison, yes, of course.
Everything becomes cheap once you've been to modular. That's a crazy maths. It's like pre. It's like a pre math that you do, like modular and then after modular.
Yeah. If you start counting my modules, yeah, I would say it's not that expensive. It looks good. I'll have to listen to it firsthand to have a appreciation of the sound, but it looks good for sure.
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and also one thing that it does, like, you can hear the connection to the test equipment. It has that rawness of sound, and that, like, we're not MIDI. This thing has MIDI, has everything basically, but you can just like play it, and you can just do the thing where what I do in test equipment is like take 3 pulse generators and speed them up differently, and then have them ping filters, and you get crazy rhythms. I mean, let's see if we can do that now. Turn it all down. Way down. Where's this the one sound? Ah, it's a feedback on the thing. That was feedback on the thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, here we go. And just by having all these things under like control of a joystick, you can get so many rhythms and variations. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, soft popish. That's Derek. You're actually right. Like the soft pop is a super cool instrument. I'm really looking. I really thought like when that came out, I was like, oh, this is it's good.
I thought, it looks really nice. The only issue that I have is the small pin stuff.
Oh, and Brainbug Infestation. Using NASA gear for making music would be the ultimate in decadence, but it would be so cool. I've got like there's people in the subreddit who've got NASA gear actually, and then I've got ESA gear, which is the European Space Agency. I've got a thing from I've got a multiplexer from them, so it's not that far off, really. They're using all the same tools that we all use, and I've got stuff from a company called EG&G that manages Area 51. I've got a whole bunch of stuff from them.
That's a good discussion to have next time.
Yeah. All right, let me go for that and into character. Music from Area 51. Something like that. Oh wow. HP 8403A. I don't know what that is. You have to. I'm still on echo. Yeah. So much stuff, man. There's so much stuff. I feel like we should. We've been doing this talk for. Oh, it's midnight. 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. If you consider that we started a bit early, yeah, I think it's 3 hours.
Okay. Well. We're gonna like
call it a night.
Call it a night. And yeah, thank you all for being here. It's been utterly amazing. Thanks for everybody who contributed to the discussion and also like boosted us financially, because this costs actually like $25 per episode basically, because
including the whiskey, plus the whiskey.
Excluding the whiskey. Well, that's like kind of okay. So if you want us to try
I am actually not smashed. That's the funny thing. I'm just sitting back because this table is super tall, and I have a stool to put my my feet on, but I'm not smashed. It takes a lot more whiskey to get me smashed.
Wow, so. I'm pretty smashed right now because I'm realizing I'm starting to want to talk German. I'm gonna upload like my Oslo show, and in the end, I tell them in German that Lillehammer bought all their vinyls, so there's only cassettes left, and then realize, oh, I'm talking German, and that means I'm really having fun because I like lose all the layers. I like lose all like I'm just in the moment. So this is kind of the thing that this stream was, and it's fun. And let's do it again, everybody. You've been awesome. Thanks for being here. And yeah, so see you in a week or two.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Soon.
Okay, so now I have to click end broadcast. This is good. Oh, we've ended broadcast?
No, we're still live.
What? It says end broadcast.
I see live.
Are we still live?
Yeah, seems to be the case.
Then I don't know how to click. Oh, end the broadcast. It wants me to confirm. So with a heavy heart, I have to confirm I'm going to end the broadcast now. But we'll... Oh, Wies, there will be another time.
See you. We'll have another one soon enough.
It doesn't want me to end broadcast. End broadcast. Are we off?
No, we're still here.
Do I have to switch off my computer?
It's having too much fun drinking whiskey and talking synthesizers.
It should say stream is ended. I think we're off. I think we're off.
Not going anywhere.
Are we still there? Mark Nürnberger? No, we are off. Are we still on.
Yep. I love it. It's super nice.
No, really?
Yeah.
Nein, das kann. Wie kann ich das ausmachen?
Now you're speaking German.
Looks like you're locked. Is it possible?
Endless stream. I love it. It needs to be 3 hours, I guess.
It looks like you're locked. Oh, it wants me to log in and out again. StreamYard logs me out while I'm in. So now I need to log in to turn it off again. Okay, I'm gonna play a tune for you.
Yeah, go
Like,
for it.
You're getting like an encore Zugabe.
Yep. We want more.
Guess the synthesizer.
Yeah, I'm going for Juno as well.
So?
Was it Juno?
No.
No, I don't know.
It was a Novation Summit.
Ah, okay.
Cool. So now I gotta end the broadcast by logging out. So I gotta log in again. See you all. Thank you very much. You're gonna see me fumbling a bit while Konstantin keeps up the show for just 30 seconds.
I'll do a small
Wait
dance.
to unlock. Okay.
Thanks everyone for being around. I'm not smashed. Heimbach. I've seen him worse. So don't worry. He'll be around soon. Catch you all later. You can just watch me drink the last of the whiskey now. I think it's a good way to end, right? Love you too, floppy disk. Have a good night wherever you are. Stay safe. Stay inside. Play synths.